Hey, Ian, I bought an interesting thing this week.
Oh, what is it? Is it a home circumcision kit?
No, it's a flashlight.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
You didn't have one already?
No.
Oh,
Did you?
yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know you did.
That's not. It's all right. It's just effort.
I really enjoy mine.
Well, no, that's cool though. But like,
Takes-
don't like you know.
It takes the same amount of effort as jerking off, but it's...
I don't think so at all. Well, do you use lube?
I don't use lube.
Then
I
how
use water.
do you do it in the shower?
No. You just get it wet and then you fuck it. Just
Okay,
like
so
a real woman.
Mine requires lube. The one I have requires lube.
I don't know. I'm sure I could buy lube, but
Well, no, I'm not saying. If you don't need it, then good. Then it's fine.
I
But
mean,
the one I have requires lube. So what I'm saying is like
it's hard to
it's
get
like,
into, but I just keep pushing at it. Just like a
That
woman.
sounds uncomfortable. That sounds awful.
No, it's fun though.
Yeah. Also, fucking.
I hope the porn star whose pussy it's based on doesn't get pregnant from all the manifesting of fucking it and coming in it that I've done.
Stop manifesting negative energy inside of Sasha Gray's vagina.
It's not her, it's Janice Griffith. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
I'm woke. I bought the first fleshlight to be made of a person with brown skin. Okay.
no, it's just you fetishize them now.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Okay. So here's the thing. What'd you say her name was? Janice Griffin?
Janice Griffith.
Griffith. Okay, I looked up Janice Griffin, and the first thing it came up with was obituary, and I'm like, is Nathan fucking a dead woman's vagina?
That'd be weird. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen to some people who own fleshlights.
Look, this woman's practically white. You didn't even try very hard, and also
No, she's
did
not.
a flashlight.
She's got dark skin. It's not the best. That's
I
not the
said
only.
practically white. I didn't
That's
say
not the
she is
only.
white.
You're gonna see other pictures, and you're gonna be like, just like with any person with
It's
non-white
called
skin.
lighting.
It's called lighting
Yeah.
and makeup.
Yeah, no, it's just like they do try and make her look like really white.
Yeah, that's
Or
like
look like a tanned girl.
that's like a photographer thing.
Yeah. We were before you guys came over yesterday, we were just sitting around and Ryan was swiping through Tinder. And we've just been like roasting him because I think he said he didn't find it like classic white guy joke is all Asian women are beautiful and I simp for them sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan was just like I don't think Asian women are that attractive.
Yeah.
Like he said he likes Filipino girls. So every single time an Asian girl would show up, we'd be like, "Oh, Ryan, swipe left. They're disgusting." They were all like solid like 7 or 8s, and it's just like
Yeah.
Ryan, get out of here. But there was one girl who came up, and I was just like, "That's a white woman," but she was like dark as fuck.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad my dating profile algorithms are actually showing me people of color because like I'm equally fine dating anybody no matter their race.
Yeah.
They're all hot. Women hot.
Okay.
We appreciate women on this
You
podcast.
can relax.
I'm just saying I
You
was
don't need to virtue
annoyed.
signal this.
I can virtue signal if I want to, and what I'm saying is women are
Yeah.
attractive, and I truly believe that.
Oh my god. You know what I hate about porn?
That there's human beings in it.
Yes, that's actually. But I clicked on. I just was on the overview here, and I saw movies and TV shows on
Yeah.
Janice Griffin.
Griffith.
So just these Griffith, yeah. So just these titles. She's definitely, even though she is 26, she's
Yeah.
still a hot teen. Because everything she's in is like The Cute Little Babysitter 3, Tiny 4K, Lesbian Adventures, Older Woman Younger, Teacher Fucks Teens, Too Big for Teens, Anal Models 2, Beautiful Beauties 4, Anal Overdose.
Yeah.
The first one, though. So, she's on the bottom ground of that franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you saying about Final Fantasy 16?
I'm sorry, I thought you wanted to talk more about porn.
I don't care about you. You don't even watch
The game
real
story
porn.
is complete. And the English voice acting is nearly done. So,
Wow, that's much further along.
yeah. But, that just means that, like, Maybe like they, because how
They've got to do all the side quests and shit.
They got to do all the side quests, but they also probably have to do all the actual like main game still.
Yeah,
because sometimes it does come last, but it doesn't have to. Especially,
the
it would
story?
probably in video games. It would the story and stuff.
the story usually comes last.
But it could also come first in video games because they're like, we got to animate the faces.
Yeah, that's true. I think
Because in modern games we have to hear everyone talk, or we have to like lip flaps have to be good.
Yeah.
Did you see that about the new Ghost of Tsushima director's cut?
What about it?
Okay, we took a week off. Did that come out last week?
They didn't come out, but the news about it came out. Yeah.
Okay.
In the last 2 weeks. I don't know. I've combined stuff from since we were gone because we're allowed to do whatever we want.
Yeah, but you hit record, right?
I did, yes.
It would be really funny if you didn't.
No, it's recording. The red light's on that and the red light's on that.
Yeah.
Look how red it is on my new
It's
TV.
very red, but
it's
that's
so red.
a different recording. That doesn't really record audio.
No, it's just video.
Yeah. So, in the Ghost, one of the things they did for the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut is they went through and they redid all the cutscenes so that if you play in Japanese, the lip flaps will finally match up.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So you can go play as Zoro now.
Yeah, well, I played as Zoro the first time.
Oh, you played it in Japanese?
Yeah, didn't you?
No, I thought the English dub was very good.
The English dub is good, but I played it in Japanese.
Well, it's not even it's not technically the English dub because
because
the Japanese dub.
Yeah, the Japanese dub makes sense because it takes place in Japan.
But at least all the people inside of the game, like all the voice actors, are all Japanese people.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Asian of some sort.
Yeah, that was cool. I heard about that.
Yeah. So, anyways, what is this, Nathan? What are we doing here?
Well, this is the Media Hole Podcast. It's a weekly podcast in which me and my partner Ian talk about the latest and greatest in video game news, movie news. We do reviews. We do fucking politics. We talk about all kinds of bullshit because it's just a fun show. It's just a good. It's just a good podcast. You know what a podcast? It's like one of those.
Oh, I missed.
Except good.
I missed the state of play.
That's okay. I watched it, and nothing really happened.
Okay.
That was everything, by the way. That's in the list there. That's literally the whole fucking show. So we're gonna skip over that pretty quick. We'll just get to the. You know what? Ian brought it up. Let's talk about the state of play. It's the most recent thing that happened, but that's what we.
So
fucking
we're doing
do.
news backwards this week.
That's how we like it. So Sony had their state of play July 8th. Now they didn't make a ton of promises about it. They were just like, it's going to be third-party games. And it was, in fact, third-party games. They also announced that it was going to be Deathloop as the main big chunk of it. And wouldn't you know it, Deathloop was the main big chunk of it. But they announced Moss 2, which is Moss, in case you don't know, is a VR 3D platformer.
Don't know it.
It's quite great.
Well,
it's quite good.
It's a PSVR game.
No, it's not. I think it's on everything.
Oh. I assume because, Sony's state of play.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, fucking whatever.
Whatever! Hey, don't make that voice.
I will make whatever voice I want. Thank you.
All right. So, and then Arcade-Ageddon.
Arcade-Ageddon. It's like an indie game. It looks pretty cool. It's like a Fortnite but single player. It's Fortnite but a story mode.
Fortnite has a story mode.
But
Fortnite Save the World.
So it's exactly like that. It's very similar. It's like you go through procedurally generated levels and you shoot things.
They could have made that Fortnite story mode so much better if it was literally just like Minecraft.
It's pronounced Minecraft.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Tribes of Midgard look boring. I skipped past it.
Oh, that's the one where they were like, when they first showed it off, they were like, you should play with like 10 people at once in your game.
It's like an action RPG.
Yeah, it was like Valheim, but fucking isometric.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, I already have Valheim. I don't care.
It sucks that two people made similar games at the same time.
Yeah. And just one of them was like...
Came out slightly earlier and became hugely popular.
And like was fucking huge because the game was like $30, but like they sold like 5 million copies, and I'm like, well, that like 4-person development team is definitely rolling in it right now.
Yeah. There's a game called Fist that I don't remember. Oh no, I do remember it. Okay, it was a side scroller. It looked fine. Hunter's Arena is like a
Battle Royale.
Left 4 Dead.
Oh my god, another one?
No, but it's a fighting game.
Weird.
It's like an online fighting game against CPU and thing.
So
It's like a multiplayer.
isn't that Absolver?
It's like Absolver, I guess, but I didn't play Absolver. But it looks like that, but worse.
Okay.
Sifu got a new trailer.
Do you think there's going to be a limit to how many times you can die in one go of that game?
That's what I think, because you get older every time you die.
Yeah.
So you gotta. What are you gonna get to 200 like me when I play the game because I'm terrible at fucking roguelikes and video games in general?
Yeah.
Probably.
Or, I don't know. Maybe it's like, if it isn't a roguelike.
I'm not sure if it's a roguelike. It makes me think so, but it might not be.
Where it's like you start off when you're 20. You have like 80 years. Maybe you have to go through like 10 floors of enemies. Every floor counts as 1 year, but then you can die
every time you die,
times.
a few years go up.
Yeah, so it's like you're on a timer sort of thing.
Maybe, but I'm not sure. They could do one of many things. It's not clear. The game's coming out 2022. It was originally announced 2021. Obviously, shit has happened in the world that makes making games harder.
Yeah.
So delays are more likely.
Oh shit.
Jet the Far Shore, they showed off a new trailer after showing this off before the PS5. This game still looks pretty cool to me.
I don't even know it.
It's like a space game.
I thought it was gonna be like a Jet Set Radio thing.
No.
Because it has the way they spelled jet.
Jet Set Radio has just one T.
Well, they're lame then.
But yeah, Jet the Far Shore, it's like a game where you kind of explore a world. It looks really neat. You don't do combat in it, but it's better than No Man's Sky because it's like the scope and scale of the project isn't massive.
Infinite?
Yeah.
Is this Subnautica but above water?
It's not in first person most of the time. You're controlling spaceship most of the time, and then you can go into first person.
I mean, like the idea is like you go around and you make.
Yeah, but there's more people. There's more people, and you don't. One of the things that they did that made me feel really cool in the trailer, they didn't say because of this, but I think it's because they wanted to eliminate the colonialism aspect of like a lot of those games. So you don't kill things and you don't extract resources.
Here's the thing about colonialism, whatever.
Yeah.
I only believe it's colonialism shit. I'm sure the actual definition was be like, no, it's what you said, where they go to kill things and take resources. It's when there's an intelligent species that you move in on and then like take over their land. That seems colonial to me. Like when that dude wrote that like long piece about Monster Hunter World is a colonial masterpiece or whatever, or some bullshit, or was being mean about it because you go beat up animals.
I would say that's still colonialism because you're still enacting your will on the environment.
Yeah, but it's an environment that if left unchecked, will destroy the entire world and actually will lead to more of. That's
an in-story rationalization.
Yeah, but
it's not
also okay. But also in the real world, we have populations of animals that we hunt because those populations
right. But we don't hunt it to. We don't hunt to extinction. We don't like.
Which is Monster Hunter. You don't hunt to extinction. You're not trying to kill anything permanently, except for the giant dragons who show up that want to annihilate the entire world, including all the animals. But
I mean more like the colonialism aspect of games like Minecraft.
There is an intelligent species in that one, and you go over and you fuck around with their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is I don't know if there's an intelligent species in Jet the Far Shore, but you don't extract resources and you don't.
You just use those resources to make you better on.
I think planet. You study and like try to escape if things are hostile. Like you don't. It's an interesting idea. I'm glad to see people, especially when so many games, the only way you can interact with the world is by doing violence to it or enemies. And while I enjoy games where I do combat, I think it's cool to let games be about other things too. And speaking of a game that the only way to interact with it is to do combat, they showed off a new trailer.
I just want to say, I don't want to bring this energy down on you.
What?
But it's something that has been. People bring up colonialism shit all the time.
Yeah.
Specifically, like when you're talking about the United States and Canada, absolutely. But then there'll be like just other bullshit. They bring it up in media all the time. But what you do in that game Even if you extract resources and leave the planet to die,
Yeah.
that's not colonialism. Colonialism is specifically is the practice of acquiring full or partial political control over another country, occupying it with settlers and exploring it economically. So it has to be a country.
Then exploitation, I guess, is the word I should have been using instead of colonialism.
Raping the planet for its resources.
Sure.
If Avatar people weren't on Pandora, or they were actually just monkeys, like an unintelligent species, then because that movie's colonialism.
Yeah.
But if they weren't there, it would just be destroying a planet so that yeah. But anyways, that's the fun thing about Terranil, is that it's like you're trying to erase colonialism shit.
Oh, there's like a bunch of people already running the nation. You try to
No,
overthrow
it's
them?
like it's pretty much like, imagine if like the Earth has been destroyed and you're pretty much playing a bunch of I don't know anything about the story yet, but what I'm getting from it is you're playing like some robots.
Yeah.
Whose job is to go down and terraform the planet, I'm assuming it's Earth, back to like a grassy, green, nice place to be. So like you actually first you just start by planting grass and trees, but then you start making like marshlands, or even then there's like, hey, burn down this flowery field because then that allows trees to grow. But you use it through science. But then at the end of the level, what you do is you put these like recyclers around, and it just picks up the shit, and you use all the parts you've already put down to build a spaceship to just vacate the area. So it's like you've done your job in this quadrant. Leave. Yeah. Leave and like, you start, as you're doing it, like deers and like bears start to show up and shit.
Nice.
It's a good game. Can't wait for it to come out.
Did you see the trailer for the Demon Slayer game? It's coming out in October.
No, but isn't it just the Naruto games?
But it's published by Sega, so instead of Namco, so it's got a higher budget.
But it's CyberConnect still.
It's still CyberConnect, but it's a higher budget. And speaking of Demon Slayer, Ufotable got charged with tax evasion, and they're gonna have to pay 100 million yen to the Japanese government. It's funny because they just put out the highest fucking grossing movie ever.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, guys.
Alright, so this is definitely more of a game than the Naruto games.
Yeah.
But it also still looks kind of bad.
It looks fine. I don't know. If you love Demon Slayer, fucking
if you love Demon Slayer, or if you want, or if like you're saying you're more of a you have a friend who's more of like a gamer, and they don't watch anime, this is a pretty good way of being like, yeah, you should just watch this. It'll probably cover for the first full season. Does it?
It looked like it was them exploring a house.
That's the first time Inosuke, Yellow Boy and Tanjiro like meet up. So that would be the first major event in the game. In like Dragon Ball,
get that far.
In like Dragon Ball Z, it's like the Saiyan saga.
Oh, I didn't get that far. I only got as far as he went to that forest. He killed that guy that killed all the guys.
You find out that the kids he was like training with.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Were actually ghosts.
I saw that.
This is like his first job after he becomes a hunter.
Okay.
Or a slayer, or whatever. So, Demon Slayer is good. It's just that it's one of those shows where it's like but it's the same thing that's going to happen with Chainsaw Man. Absolutely, it's going to be like it
got 1,000,000% more popular than it necessarily needs to be.
It's going to get so popular that there's going to have to be some people who go like, people are going to be like, the show's a 10. It's amazing. It's the greatest show in the world. But then all the dudes who are like, no, actually, I watched the entire show and read the manga, and I liked it before you people started to show up, and now it's bad for these reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the answer is no shonen show can be the best show ever made, because it's also trying to be an extremely popular thing, and therefore it can't really do the best in the world.
Except for Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
That's actually what I saw a funny joke about, like, because Full Metal Alchemist, I think it got its spot back as the #1 anime on, like,
I think it still is on my anime.
Well, it lost to Attack on Titan season 4 until that season went off the rails. Like, one of the episodes, they just
did they finally get to the fashy shit?
They've been on it since like season 3.
Oh,
yeah. So, but Full Metal Alchemist is a show that.
Do you know what? That's another problem with with shows and like treating seasons as separate shows that my anime list does.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you've made it to season 4, you already like the show. So you're going to rate it higher because you already like the show, and all the people who don't like the show haven't made it to season 4.
But I think they do the total rating based off of like each rating an episode gets.
Do they? I only rate the seasons.
Well, then here's the thing as well. If they're getting 24 episodes to decide whether or not the show is good.
Yep.
Full Metal Alchemist is just one whole show. It's not. There's no separate seasons, so it's like 24 episodes that are good versus.
Yeah, but you can
64. I think
you can rate an individual. You can rate an individual show before you watch every episode. So, like Full Metal Alchemist. If you watch the first 5 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist and you hate it, you can put it as dropped and you can write 5 out of 10, right? You can do that if you do that.
If you drop a show, you should not rate it 5 out of 10. If you're dropping a show, it's because it's not even close to a 5.
A 5 out of 10 is average. I don't have time for anything under a 7.
That's fine, but I think if you're going there to say you're dropping the show, well, it's like the thing. It's like. Everyone writes, like on Amazon, everyone writes 5-star reviews or 1-star reviews.
Sure.
You're either going there because the product was actually that amazing, or it has infuriated you so much that you hate it.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm saying if you go to write a review about how you have dropped the show, it's got to be less than a 5.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on the person. I'd probably drop a show for being mediocre and say, yeah, it's bland and it just exists. It's not bad. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that takes up time and exists.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's what I was saying. Like fucking, like I was saying, Full Metal or Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
If you get 5 episodes in, you're 5 episodes into season 1, and if you do the fucking 1-star 5 episodes in, this fucking show is dog shit.
Yeah.
Right. That rating doesn't affect season 2, 3, or 4. So that's why season 4 can get up so high and have such a good percentage.
Because the people who are already watching season 4 think Attack on Titan is the greatest thing in the world.
Right.
Where I dropped
Already
Attack on Titan at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
But
I dropped it halfway through season 1 because I got bored of it.
Yeah, same. I was just like, I don't care about this Titan nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Everybody's very funny by saying it's technically a mecha, but it's boring and not fun.
Mecha. But like Chris kept reading it and he was like, it's the best, it's amazing, you should keep going. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's whatever. I'm not saying it's necessarily terrible. Obviously the fashy shit is terrible and like the anti-Semitic shit's terrible, but the fucking show itself is fine. Like
it's allusions to anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean it's anti-Semitic. It's made in the real world.
No, it's not. Where is the fucking... It's not made in the real world.
It is made in the real world. The guy who wrote it lives in the real world. Yes.
Okay, but the way you made it sound is that it's
it doesn't take place in the real world. It's made in the real world.
Yes, but it's not anti-Semitism unless he's like calling them like Zionists and some shit.
It is. If you could be like, oh yeah, the not Jews almost got exterminated because they can turn into monsters. And we should have exterminated all the not Jews. Whoa, hold on. I'm not anti-Semitic. They're called the not Jews.
So, okay, 1 second. Are you saying that is the show anti-Semitic because because there is characters who aren't considered bad guys who advocate?
The backstory of the show is that the Titans are Jewish. And that it's a magic power that Jews have, and that like
you're reading into this too much because that's not anti-Semitism unless you're actively attacking Jewish people.
They were like, yo, actually, the show advocates genocide, much like Demon Slayer.
No, that's what I'm saying. In the show, they are saying that genocide is good.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You just kept saying that they're like, no, they wanted to exterminate the Titan people because they can turn into monsters.
No, yeah, it's like an X-Men thing, but reverse.
Logic, if you have genocide in your show at all, that being anti-Semitic, then Full Metal Alchemist is anti-Semitic because the thing that started everything in the show is the war, is the Ishvalan War of Extermination.
Yeah, no.
Which was just
you
that
can do a
the
thing
white
that says
government looked at the religious like people out in like the desert and decided, we should murder all those people.
Yeah, no, I'm
But
not
they're
saying
also frequently said, hey, it's fucked up that you did that.
Yeah, no, you can make a thing that's anti-genocide. Just don't make a thing that's pro-genocide.
But I just don't see how it's pro-genocide.
It is. I don't know, man. I didn't fucking read all of it. I've
you're
just seen a
saying
lot of
other
criticism
people's
of it
opinions.
that
That's
made
what I'm
sense, and
saying.
I've read it ages ago.
No, you didn't read it.
No,
You
I read the
watched it.
criticisms of it ages ago.
Yeah, and guess what? Things change.
What do you mean things change?
Like, you don't know. Maybe the story changes. Things happen.
I don't know.
If Eren Yeager is the main character and he's sitting there saying genocide good,
yeah,
then fine. Like
the author is a rape of Nanking denier.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but you keep bringing up anti-Semitism. He has a problem with the Korean War, not World War II.
Well, it's both, but.
Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, you can look into it. That's easy information for you to find.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Anti-natalism?
Huh?
What's that?
What? I don't know.
I looked up Attack on Titan, and the first thing I got was I typed in anti, and then it said anti-natalism.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Maybe that's like what they called
the fake Jews.
Yeah.
Anyway, they also showed off some of Lost Judgment, which is cool. We stand, obviously. They showed off some of Death Stranding Director's Cut, which was announced, like, I don't know, a week or so ago.
I hate it when people just say words and don't fucking give me a definition.
Death Stranding Director's Cut looks great. Game's great. They added more combat. But, yeah, game's cool. And then Deathloop, they did a very long gameplay thing. You know what to expect from this game, but it looks more put together than it ever has, and they're still saying it's coming out in September, so probably will this time.
God, sometimes, you know...
You don't have to do this on...
No, I'm sorry. It's just this word is fucking me up now.
What is it?
It's the anti-natalism word, and it just says anti-natalism or anti-natalism is the ethical view that negatively values coming into existence and procreation. It's just the way the words flow together.
Natalism, anti-natalism.
Whatever.
Because it's natal, like having babies.
Yeah, I think it's just don't have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm anti-natalism.
I think that would be like anti-natalism would be like if you think no one should have kids.
Well, I could see that as a theme in Attack on Titan, because if the world's so fucked, just don't have kids. What's the point? Why would you like? Of course, that you'd have this like
because kids might be able to make the world better.
Yeah, but what if like that? What I'm saying is, if you're such a negative person,
yeah,
you're gonna be like, what's the point of bringing kids into the world? So I don't think anyone else should.
That's fair.
You're just gonna bring them in to die like a horrible death.
That's fair. I don't care for Attack on Titan, but there's fashy shit in it. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that one.
And I learned about the fashy shit after because they kind of didn't really fully get to it by the time I stopped caring about the show. But I read a big thing about how fashy it is, and yeah.
Well, you know what, Nathan?
Yep.
It's not anti-Semitic, because I found a Reddit post that says, no, this series is not anti-Semitic.
Oh, and that...
I'm not going to read any of these.
See, that's the thing with that is that almost confirms that it is. You know?
Yeah.
Like, guys, come on, it's not anti-Semitic.
I'm
no,
sure
I don't hate Jews. I just hate non-Zionists.
Yeah. Anyways, we just
that's what Ben
State of
Shapiro
Play
said.
And just kept going around.
Yeah, we finished State of Play. Do you want to watch the Chainsaw Man trailer, or did you already see it?
Oh, of course I've seen it like 1,000 times.
The trailer's really sick.
Yeah. Sucks that MAP was abusing all their animators.
Yeah.
And
the editing is really good in that trailer, man.
Yeah. Everything about
Super
that
cool.
show is great, and it's getting the attention it deserves now.
That's good.
I could honestly see them literally doing the entire show in one season.
Oh, man, I watched
Actually, you know what? Okay, based off of the formula of like 2 to 3 chapters per episode, that would be if you did 3 chapters, that would be 72 chapters. There's only 97 chapters of the manga. It would just take away a lot from that to like speed through it.
I don't. It depends on how many episodes the season is. If they're smart, they do 13, and then they just make sure they're all really good.
Yeah, do like a 36 episode anime or 39 episode.
Yeah.
Do like 13 really good episodes. Don't
drop that 26.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think also because it wasn't in Shonen Jump.
Is in Shonen Blast.
Wasn't it an online one?
Whatever it is. It's Ultra Jump? That's what it is.
I think every chapter of Chainsaw Man is like 30 pages.
Ooh.
Instead of like the normal
instead
like
of 10
16.
to 20.
Yeah. So
right, because a manga chapter is less pages than an issue of a comic book, but comic books come out monthly.
Yeah. So this one, but there's like,
color.
It's all, the art's really good. The fights are really good. If you like speed through those fights, you're just gonna like ruin the show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time it's like, why are we having this fight? What's the character's motivations? And Denji's is literally like, I want to feel some titties. Or I want to kiss a woman. Because he's a sad, pathetic little man. But when you watch the show, you realize why he is. I'm just going to click on like chapter 20 or something, see how many pages that is. 23. It's 21 pages still. But yeah, I don't know. The pages feel longer and it's like a lot more dense of a show.
That's good.
And I just really want to see like every week people reacting to things.
Yeah.
Because it is one of those shows where it's like, here's some characters you love.
Man, it sucks that Promised Neverland anime turned out shit.
Yeah.
They did that stupid season 2. Yeah. The manga's still really good. So,
Yeah. Fucking Mappa needs to stop picking up every goddamn show in the world, though.
Oh, yeah. Mappa is overworking the fuck out of their animators.
Yeah,
and it's bad.
They're not hiring or building new studios or anything. Like, they should definitely have, like, a Mappa wherever they are currently, and then just be like, oh, Mappa on the West Coast or whatever.
Yeah, like, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, man. But that's what it's like.
And speaking of the West Coast, but also the Wild West, the first trailer for Frog Detective 3 came out. This was going to be the last Frog Detective.
No!
Did you see the trailer?
No, I didn't. I've only seen Frog Detective 1.
Oh, yeah, I thought you
Corruption at Cowboy County.
Corruption at Cowboy County, baby. Hell yeah. Lobster Cop. So this is gonna get to the bottom of the fucking ongoing story.
Oh man.
The thrilling final chapter.
I hope the spider shows up. Oh, it's gonna be Spider. There's just something like so fucking stupid about Frog Detective.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Green phone. Yellow booth. Is this Doctor Who?
You know it.
A normal man. Yeah, so that looks cool.
Yeah.
But you know what's not cool?
What?
That when, Sakurai was showing us how Kazi is going to work in Smash and didn't put any fucking neutral inputs in.
Damn.
Deconfirmed Dante and Shantae.
They rhyme.
Yeah. And that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't
but on
care.
the other hand, I'm glad they're in here, and I'm glad we got the fucking... It would be worse if it wasn't Dante and we got nothing and we had to hope for the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know what? You've taken all the hope away, and it's still... It's cute that they're in there, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure Way Forward is appreciative of like that.
Of course,
and
yeah.
clearly Capcom doesn't care that much because they don't need a.
And now that guy, after
good.
every fucking thing, can stop posting.
What
the hell is that?
I think someone made a meme edit of a me costume version of him doing it. Yeah, but then also we got Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia.
Yep,
and
Skyrim Boy.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not from Skyrim. He's the Dragonborn.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing where M-rated games, they don't put the logo, they say the character's name.
Well, it's because if you put the logo of the game, that means there is a piece of that game inside, and you have to raise the rating of the other game.
Is that really it?
That's really it. It's an ESRB rule.
That's stupid.
So yeah, that's why it says Dragonborn, and it just said Dante. Because if you put them, if you say they're in the game, then their Smash Bros is now an M game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bayonetta, the logo's in there.
Bayonetta, I think that's also her character's name.
Ah, yeah, right.
And I think also when
It's an M-rated
Bayonetta
game.
1 is definitely M-rated.
Yeah.
It's like, that's brutal.
That's like so much sex and violence. And swearing.
It's entirely sex and violence. Oh,
Yeah.
Did you hear the shitty part
What?
about with Bayonetta?
Bayonetta 3.
No, the guy who voiced Enzo passed away.
No.
Yeah. Also, he did voices in like Animaniacs. He voiced one of those fucking Italian pigeons. Goodfella. It's like Good Feathers.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So rip that dude.
R.I.P. But yeah, that's a sad thing that they're never gonna be in there. But also, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You remember that part in Bayonetta where she flips off the camera and then fingers her motorcycle to start it?
Yes.
That's a great bet.
Yeah. Just love her.
She's great.
At all times. I don't like playing Bayonetta, but I love her.
Which is funny because Bayo's just Devil May Cry.
I don't know. There's just something about because like Devil May Cry has a lot more hit stun on enemies.
Well, because in Bayonetta, if you press and hold, you get the extra hit stun because she shoots after you hit.
It's just I just don't like how you play Bayonetta. It feels like a fucking finger destroying game.
Does it? I don't know.
So when I play it, like my hand's always uncomfortable after playing for a bit. Yeah, but you know what else is uncomfortable after playing for a bit?
The Nintendo Switch Pro?
The Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So, the Nintendo Switch Pro is not actually a Nintendo Switch Pro. It's the Switch OLED version, OLED.
Yeah. And it's pretty much launching as what the Nintendo Switch should have launched as. This is the Persona 5 Royal of Nintendo Switches.
Oh, that's not fair. I think P5 Royal has content that didn't need to be in the original P5.
This is the Xenoblade Chronicles X of the Nintendo
Xenoblade
Switches.
Chronicles X is just a different game.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought that was the definitive edition.
Nope. You're thinking
my
of the
bad.
definitive edition.
I thought it had a special name. This is the Dragon Quest 11S Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Of the
I
Nintendo
think
Switch.
whatever extra shit they added is at the end of the fucking game, and I'm not beating that game ever
that's
again.
fair.
Actually, I never beat the game, period, because it sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's got a better screen, and better audio, and a LAN input. It has no other internal improvements.
Yeah.
Or no, it has a bigger
It has
a hard drive or whatever, slightly larger internal hard drive.
I think it has like a 256 gigabyte now.
No, it's 64
Never
from
mind.
32.
I thought I read something wrong.
No, but
But they also
you have expandable memory, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but they also added on like that fucking stand they have on the Switch is so garbage. Mm-hmm. Like it's just a thin
Oh yeah, it's
piece
a better
of plastic.
stand too, right?
Yeah, now it's like a stand that's more like one you would get on like a tablet sort of thing, where it can actually bend. It's not just locks to one position; it locks to other positions. Yeah. And this is honestly a huge disappointment.
It is pretty underwhelming because the PlayStation Vita launched with an OLED screen in 2011, 10 years before the Switch OLED version.
Yeah. And I get it that they want Metroid Dread to like pop and like look nice for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not gonna buy this one. Absolutely not.
Ian, do you have an OLED television?
I think I do.
I have a QLED, but
I don't know. My TV, it just fucks me up sometimes.
Ian, does your television? Do you have a television that goes above 1080p?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you ever play Switch games handheld?
Yeah, actually, most of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Well, because I bring it to work with me,
oh yeah.
and I like play it on my breaks. But
Right.
like
Shit.
a lot of those games, like,
But by
you
the time
can't-
Metroid Dread comes out, you're going to be unemployed.
yeah,
So
I'm just gonna play it at home on my
Yeah.
TV, so it doesn't.
I was
matter.
because I never play my fucking Switch in handheld.
Yeah, and like you know what sucks about the Switch?
What?
Like also they didn't announce that the battery is gonna be better. I literally think the battery is gonna be the same
Yeah.
because when you put like I've been playing like Super Metroid on my Switch. I can play that game for like 8 hours on battery life. But if I open up like Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, Monster Hunter Rise, I got that at best 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, especially because the way the Switch classic games work is it's streaming, so it's not even using like internal hardware.
It's downloaded.
Is it?
Because I was playing it offline.
Oh shit!
Like obviously, it's like the program's only like 15 megabytes or something.
But yeah.
But that's like every fucking almost the entirety of the SNES is like shit.
Yeah.
You just have to launch it once while you're connected to the internet, and then for like the whole month, like using your Switch's internal clock, it just detects whether or not like you definitely have paid for it for that month. So as long as you connect to it once a month, you can just play it offline.
Cool. All right, but
I don't know how George gets away because he plays his Switch when he's on like work.
Yeah.
Like he must like plug it into his car or something.
Yeah, he does.
Or bring like
he has a car charger.
How does his battery survive? He also, if I was like being spied on, I'm like, why is that guy's car on? I'd be like,
Well, he doesn't have it on all the time. He turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, he probably turns it off when he thinks someone's around the timing that it would. That's George's job. Let's not get into it.
Yeah.
His job is being a pervert
for money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway,
favorite
the Vita's great.
Oh yeah, the Vita's great. Sorry, the Vita when it launched in 2010 had an OLED screen.
Yeah, and that was compared to the Switch screen is 720p, whereas the Vita screen was 560.
The Vita is the PS3 of handhelds.
Yeah,
where like it was actually super amazing and was technologically superior to everything around it, but it was just overpriced and there was no games for it.
Yeah, well, it's like there's so many great games that started on Vita. There's some that are still stuck on it, which is sad.
Gravity Rush.
But like the
Not
Vita,
stuck, but that's
that
started.
Gravity Rush is great. Tearaway. There was like an Uncharted game. There was a great Killzone.
Whatever game or something.
Poco Roco, I think, was on PSP. But lots of really good games on the Vita. Again, like, if they'd done that thing where the PS TV was actually just like the hookup, an HDMI hookup for the Vita, which is what it was originally planned to be, that's just a Nintendo Switch that could have come out in 2012.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking, if you just had the Vita and had bought a separate stand to plug it in through HDMI and play it with a PS3 controller, that's just a fucking PS Vita. Or that's just a fucking Nintendo Switch.
To play Vita games like on your TV required you to have like a PlayStation TV or something.
Yeah, PlayStation TV was originally supposed to be an HDMI hookup for the Vita.
Yeah.
That's why it plays Vita games.
And then they just made it a streaming Vita game thing.
Now instead they just made it like a home Vita console.
You know what's so dumb? That thing doesn't exist anymore, but the framework for it to work still exists.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just in the fucking PlayStation?
In the PS5, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess it kind of is with like PlayStation Plus.
I mean, they should have
not PlayStation Plus, PS Now.
Well, no, because a lot of Vita games aren't on there. Like,
the way PlayStation TV worked, where you just streamed things. It
didn't stream things. It was just a Vita. It's just a Vita that hooks up to the. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought it was a.
The PS TV is just a PS Vita. Like it plays. It could play downloaded games, certain downloaded games that were PS3 game or other PS games, and then it could play fucking every Vita game that doesn't need the touchscreen. Like, you could just play Persona 4 Golden on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And now you can play it on PC, but it took fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, anyways, Adam Driver eats pussy real good. Apparently.
Adam Driver in a new movie that just came out in the festival circuit and is going to come out this year, called Annette, got praised recently because Marion Cotillard said that he sang while simulating oral sex in Annette.
Good for him.
So he was pretending to do cunnilingus while singing.
Don't ever show him the clip or else he'll have a fucking freak out about it.
Yeah, he hates that shit.
Like a little baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is we should try to do it. You don't think that's a good bit?
No, I don't think so.
Hey now, you're an
all-star.
all-star. Yes, you want
Go.
go.
Man, he must have really good voice control, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of, like, the gross, like the dudes who go, like, oh, how do you eat a girl that's like,
I mean, who knows how far he was, what his technique was. I haven't seen the film.
maybe he writes his own name. Stop that. Yeah.
You know, you love it, you piece of shit.
Actually,
Anyway.
I do not like mouths.
You don't like mouths?
No.
Well,
I don't like mouth sounds. Everything else about them, pretty cool. But when I have to, like, if I hear someone eat, I just want to.
well, when you have your
break their
first
fucking
kiss,
neck.
you're gonna have to get used to
I
mouths.
fucking kissed a woman before, Nathan. Come on. You know what? I wish I didn't say that. I wish I just went with it. Because when you have to, you know that fucking thing of like,
Because you having to deny it makes you sound like
I
you're
sound like
lying.
that kid who's like, bro, I totally kissed a girl in like middle school. Or one time we were playing, fucking playing Apex, and this guy just started to yell at, like, this guy was a fucking prick. He like ran like he was like halfway across the map, and he got in a fight and died. He's like, where the fuck are you guys? I'm like, you can see what we have on us. We had no gear. Why would you go pick a fight with people, you dickhead? And then he's just like, whatever. And then he just started, like, I muted him because I don't care. But Blake was just like also dead, so he's like, I'm just gonna fuck around with him. So he just he was sitting there, and like the guy called him a virgin, and Blake was like, yeah, I'm a fucking virgin. Just kept like yelling shit like that.
So
or
funny.
he was like, no, bro, I totally fuck super hard. Or no, he was like, the guy called him a virgin, and Blake was like, what's wrong? Well, like, you're a virgin too. And the guy's like, no, I don't, I fuck so hard. One of them
so
was on
funny.
the other end, like, Blake was doing it as a bit, but this other guy was going like, I've had sex, bro.
That's so funny.
It's always funny to meet these like Call of Duty kids in like other games.
Did you see the
Fuck
trailer?
this guy.
What?
Blake just sent me like a meme in our like house group chat, so
Oh.
I thought it was something like.
Did you see the TikTok I sent in the big group chat?
It's the I didn't I was trying to watch it, but then I was also driving. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's the guy who walks in with the rulers, like dick check.
There was
something.
cock measuring time, but it was playing the instrumental for like lying on the floor. You
Without
found me. You found me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that made me laugh. So I sent it to
Funny
the
is
group chat.
Marvel's
That's what it
What
would
If.
be. That's what it would be if I lived with you guys.
Yeah, it would be awful.
We
We would actually have to put locks on all the doors.
No, I actually wouldn't do that. I'm not a fucking pervert. I would just be a good boy.
A good boy pervert.
I'd be a little bit of a pervert.
Yeah.
We'd all have to, have goodnight kisses. But you know what? I would argue that it's gay not to.
Well, guess Reedy's super fucking gay.
Anyway, did you see the trailer for What If, or do you want to watch it now?
I saw the trailer. I thought that art style was really cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the Clone Wars show, and that's it.
I wouldn't say it's like the Clone Wars. I don't know. It was just it looked good. It looked like a good time.
It's really funny because everyone's voiced by their actual actors except for
Tony Stark. Oh,
which
yeah.
is so blatantly an impression.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you see that they're doing a Simpsons crossover thing as well?
They already did it.
Oh, it already
The
came
Loki Simpsons thing.
out? Oh man. How awful.
I'm sure it's terrible. I didn't watch it. I was
I'm not
like,
gonna
come the
watch it.
fuck on.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? Why would you do this?
Simpsons meet Loki.
It's like when Simpsons was like, Simpsons meet Rick and Morty in a couch gag. I can't.
That was
believe
fine.
I can't believe that was actually on TV though. Like that sounds like a joke that they would do in Rick and Morty, but instead that was like actually a couch gag. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, just silly because the Simpsons are like so safe now.
Yeah, but Rick and Morty popular.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Family Guy popular.
Family Guy is popular. That's why there was a crossover.
Yeah.
Futurama is popular. That's why there was a crossover.
There wasn't a crossover.
Yeah, there was.
There was a reference. There wasn't really.
No, there was a crossover.
There was not.
There was a crossover.
In the Simpsons.
Hold on.
No, there's a joke where they go through a tunnel at one point, like Homer and someone else, and Bender ends up inside of the car, and then they just toss him away. There's not a full episode of crossover.
6th episode of the 26th season of the TV show The Simpsons.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't know about it.
Uh-huh.
It's in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
If it was in Futurama, I would have seen it.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen every episode of Futurama, but I don't watch The Simpsons.
Yeah. It was first announced 2 days after The Simpsons Guy, the hour-long crossover between Family Guy and The Simpsons. Although, honestly, Futurama and The Simpsons would probably be better. In my brain. I'm sure it's not good.
Because they already kind of fit in
They're
together.
both by Matt Groening.
Yeah. They have a similar sense of humor as well about
Yeah,
things.
and they're both good shows, generally.
At the time when Futurama first started airing, I would say The Simpsons was still good, but then by the time Futurama ended, not good.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous how long it is for Fry and Leela to get together. Like, I was thinking about some of the earlier episodes where it's like that is just pure romance or like pure longing for someone. Like the fucking
every
episode,
time the show gets canceled, they get together.
and then they come back and they break up.
Yeah.
But there was one. It's like an earlier episode where Leela gets stabbed. Like they go to like this honeybee planet or whatever, and Fry gets like stabbed through the stomach, and Leela gets a bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then she goes through this whole like psychotic episode.
And it's like, I remember the ending of that. It's like, yeah, it went right through me, but you got all the poison.
Yeah. And then, but like the way she is like reacting to Fry's death is
she
like,
loves him.
Yeah, is like a widow finding out her husband died at war.
But you know what, Ian? Sometimes you got to keep the fucking will they won't they going.
Hey man, at least the show when they actually chose to end it did it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the time loop thing, right?
Yeah. Well, they did a they broke a time loop. And then ended up being stuck in time, but then just like walked around the world together and like visited everything. And then eventually they just grew old and died. And then the time loop got reset somehow. I don't know. Because they got stuck in a time loop of him falling to his death. It was
funny.
Dark but funny.
In Disenchanted, you can see Futurama in the background in one episode, which shows they're in the same universe, sort of. Vaguely.
Yeah, I watched like the first season of that show. I'm like,
I did too.
Right.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. I just think that the rate that the show, like the seasons kept coming out afterwards, I'm like, I feel a drop in quality here.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't like the little elf boy just being Bart Simpson.
He's not Bart
too
Simpson. Nice.
No, he's like a little nice boy, but he just looks like Bart.
Yeah.
He's like a little nice boy who's just like simping for I don't know, Abby Jacobson's character.
Fig. Or no, it's not Fig. Something like that.
Yeah.
Tig? Something.
Fig Notaro. I don't know. I liked Eric Andre's like little devil thing.
Yeah.
But then he also just felt like Roger from American Dad, but like black.
I'm Roger.
Well, no, it's just like the character who sits off to the side and gets drunk or stoned and then just like is a sassy bitch and doesn't help the plot go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's just nothing.
The things I liked about it was that it like had an ongoing story that was interesting.
Yeah, and it was just like the desire, her desire that she just wanted to get like fucked or have like a normal.
She just wanted to be fun, like have fun and the shit, and it, yeah. It's funny to see someone in the Futurama / Simpsons style talk about how much they just want to get railed.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
And then Elfo's like, I'll do it. And he's like, you're small, bro.
Yeah, no. Also, no.
Yeah. Also, you're like, who knows how old you actually are.
Also,
you're
gross.
Yeah, you're just disgusting.
You're a nasty bitch.
Yeah, and your character sucks.
Yeah.
John DiMaggio as her dad was funny, though.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah. But John DiMaggio's great in everything.
He's great in everything. Okay, do you have anything else, or do you want to get right into the weeks?
No, I have nothing else.
All right, great. So let's see how far we're into the episode. We're 50-something minutes in. We need to blast through these weeks because we got two things to spoiler cast. We got Loki and we got Black Widow.
We could just do those separately.
And you mean a separate episode?
Yeah. Just do like a Marvel spoiler cast
I
thing.
don't want to do that.
Well, it
sounds like more work for me.
I don't want to talk about them. So I want to talk about the real thing. The best movie I've watched in my life.
Fuck off. Start the edit here, Nathan.
Which movie do you think I'm going to talk about?
You're going to talk about fucking F9.
I will not actually, because I want to go see the movie properly in theaters.
But you watched it.
I watched it. I watched a cam rip of it.
Oh, that's dog shit.
Yeah. So it was good enough. By the way, Chinese moviegoers, very disrespectful to the rest of the audience.
Oh, so what you're gonna say is Cruella?
Yeah,
How was it?
it's honestly a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah,
If the movie was not about Cruella de Vil and was about anyone else,
it would be fine.
If it was about this up and coming fashion designer whose mother was murdered by the fashion designer she's working for, and then she just goes through a whole long way of like trying to destroy her personal life and career as like a funny little troll.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. But then it's like, it culminates in a villain who wants to skin dogs. But then everything they do in Cruella makes no sense why she would want to end up doing that. They kidnap her, like, the villain's, like, 3 Dalmatians at one point, and she's, like, tired. She's running out of ideas. She's talking to, like, her taller henchman, who was played when he was a kid, was, like, a dark-skinned black kid.
Yeah.
And then as an adult, it was, like, a light-skinned man.
Black guy. That's funny.
But, it's just, she, like, looks over at the dogs, and she's like, I could make a coat out of them. And the guy's like, whoa, that's fucked up. And she's like, I'm joking, I'm just tired. But then late in the next scene, she's wearing like a coat that looks like it's Dalmatian skin.
Yeah.
But turns out she did not skin the dogs. She just made a coat that looks like a Dalmatian's. Like, they did the fucking thing they have with the problem they have with all these movies. This character's not a villain in the movie, but it turns out that she is a major villain in like 5 years. Also, there's the dog incest thing.
Yeah, which is funny.
And also the way they age the characters, she's like 23 in the movie.
But in the fucking 101 Dalmatians, she's like
ancient.
Yeah, she's an old lady.
But like, and then Roger is like the guy in that.
Yeah,
is definitely older, like than her, because he's a lawyer who gets fired by the Baroness, which was...
But he's clearly a little bit younger than her in the fucking animated movie.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like in his 30s or whatever.
He is probably like 31, 32.
In the animated movie.
Yeah, he gets fired by the Baroness, who is like the villain fashion designer. And then, what is her name? Like Anita?
I don't know. The Roger's wife?
Roger's wife.
Yeah.
But they obviously don't know each other in this movie because the dogs is what gets them together. In like...
Is that what happens
in 101 Dalmatians? Here's the thing. You think with the context of Cruella, since we know those dogs are siblings...
Yeah.
That means when they like hooked the parent, like Roger and I think it's Roger and Anita together.
Yeah.
It was them being like, "Whoa, my brother/sister! Holy shit!"
Let's fuck.
And then that's why they're so excited to see each other. But then incest
let's
babies.
Fuck.
Yeah, let's go fuck.
Let's fuck a bunch of kids out.
Yeah, but Cruella is like mid.
Cruella
is at most mid to late 20s.
Let's fuck slightly less than 100 kids out of you.
Anita is a reporter.
Oh,
so she's probably also.
But she's a stay-at-home woman because it was old times back in the movie.
Yeah, and then Roger is a lawyer who gets fired and becomes a guy who writes a song, and then Cruella gives him a fucking dog, and he immediately turns around and is like, "Ooh, time to write the Cruella de Vil song."
Oh wait, really? He writes like the fucking...
Yeah, about how she's a villain, but he doesn't know her at all. She just gives him a dog. They have no scenes together at all in the movie.
That's stupid. Movie bad.
It's stupid because it's a prequel movie.
Yeah.
If it was something else, just like I would say this movie, if it was a different thing, unrelated, it would be like an 8 out of 10. Like really well designed, really fun movie.
Yeah, the art design looked pretty cool.
It's great. Like it's like everything is really dark and like shitty looking, but then Emma Watson is always like a splash of color just standing out. And also like her hair going down the black and white she has going down the middle is like something that she naturally has, but she wears like a red wig to hide who she is.
Yeah.
And then at the end she decides to take it off, and then she's like always has like a lot of color that she's wearing because she already has all the black and white. It's so well designed. It's the movie's an 8 with if you ignore that it's a prequel movie. Once you think about that it's a prequel, it becomes like a 4.
I do want to point out I let you sit past it. What's the name of the lead actress?
Emma Stone.
You said Emma Watson.
Did I? Oh man, my bad. It's probably because it's Emma Stone being a British woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a good time. I actually enjoyed watching it more than I thought I would. I'm not even gonna bother with F9 actually for real, just because.
Oh really?
Like, yeah. Because it's you know what?
It's about family.
The series is going downhill.
Yeah, you didn't like F9,
No, I liked it.
but it's bad.
It's not bad. It's just that
It needs to stop. It's too many movies at this point.
No.
Okay.
Never. Okay, actually, yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Because it's just like, but there was not a single fucking race in this one.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
at
I said
all.
about Fast 5.
There is
a
in
race.
Fast.
They all race the same fucking car.
Yeah, but it's like a fun scene of like.
It's
look, these
not
people are
fun, and
friends.
it's like barely. You don't even see the race that much.
Oh my god! But it's still like there's still good driving stunts, where a lot of this one felt like
There was that cool
Nothing.
stunt where the fucking flipped truck goes through the store.
that's the. Oh yeah, that's like during the finale of the movie.
Yeah, I saw the. I think did I show you the making of that, or did I just say I seen the making of that?
I think you just have seen it.
Okay, because yeah, the car flips and they actually put it through like
Wait,
a
one second.
building
Are we
that they
talking
built on
Fast
a
5
set.
or F9?
F9.
Okay.
There's a truck that goes through a store.
Yeah.
They built the entire store. That's like real on a
It's
set.
That's what they did with the vault as well in F5, Fast 5.
Oh yeah.
The vault, all the scenes with like the vault getting thrown around. Obviously, it's not an actual super heavy vault.
Yeah.
But it's like a fake car underneath the vault that people are driving around. Yeah. So it's like, you know,
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a real. The Fast and the Furious is definitely like has some of the best like real stunts go on. But then this one it felt like you know how Too Fast, Too Furious had like no stunts.
All the CGI cars.
Yeah, it just feels like a lot more of this one is like nonsense.
Yeah.
Like the fucking like, hey, the bridge is out. I know. Drive into the pillar of the bridge. Fucking rope swing around, or when like Vin Diesel like whips the trailer into the fucking thing, like into that jet that finishes the trailer off.
So how many families out of families?
3 out of 5 families.
3 out of 5 families.
It's just like it's just okay.
So it's just above mediocre, is what you're telling me. Like it's a slight cut above mediocre, especially like for the series.
Yeah.
So are you still? Did you say your favorite's 7, right?
No, 6. 7 is like the tear jerking one, but that's only because you know they just
Paul Walker died.
They just do a nice thing for Paul Walker instead of like.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Do you know they wanted to keep like Sam Smith out of that song or something?
But that's the good part of the song.
I know there was something weird
because it's Wiz Khalifa is the rest of the song.
Yeah, maybe it was the music video where Sam Smith was like, "I'm just not going to allow you to release the song unless you allow me to be part of the song, like the visual part of the song."
Oh, they wouldn't let him be in the music video.
Yeah.
It's been a long...
absolutely. F9 has the worst celebrity cameo though.
Oh, who is it?
It's Cardi B, but she's on screen for way too long and she talks for way too like Iggy Azalea in Furious 8 or whatever.
Yeah,
is like oh no, she's in 7. She's there and then she's gone. It's
like,
very quick. Cardi B has this whole monologue about how Dom like saved her from going to prison or something. It's just like, Dom's my hero. He's the best. He runs these streets. He is the reason we are.
So I was
going to
say, who doesn't like Cardi B? She's great.
She's all right, but like, it's just it's too long. Like a lot of the times when they have a celebrity like music cameo, it's you're in and out. That's it.
Yeah, I think she's like trying to do more acting.
Or Ja Rule. She's not very good.
Yeah,
she's not a good actor. She just sounds like herself. But hey, we're filling out that female-led spinoff like very well because now there's an Asian girl, which fucks up the timeline of the movie again.
Oh, because she's from.
They
Tokyo
explain
Drift?
how Han doesn't die.
That's okay. Don't go into it. Obviously, we'll wind up having an episode for this. But
when I actually see it again in theaters and can enjoy it and like big, yeah. All right, so what do you want to talk about?
I was gonna say Trails of Cold Steel. I finished it.
Cool. How was it?
It's great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I complained a little bit last time about some of the dumb anime bullshit, and yet it's still there. It's pervasive throughout anime stuff. But it's, I would say the game's still quite good, and I would highly recommend it. Now, one thing, I was telling you about this off the pod. One thing about the Trails of franchise. So, in case you don't know, there's like essentially 3 sub-series of Trails. There's Trails in the Sky, which has 3 games. There's the Crossbell duology, which has Trails into Zero and Trails from Zero, Trails into Azure, which is like 2 games. And then there's Trails of Cold Steel, which has 4 games, and then there's going to be like 1 more after that, and then another, I think, trilogy after that. But that's not out yet. But right now there's just 4 Cold Steel, 2 Crossbell, 2 to the Sky, right? Or 3 to the Sky. And the way it works is that Cold Steel is kind of the big finale to like a 15-year chunk of the series, right?
What was that the one you were telling me about before the podcast? That's the one, like, because you said before all these games are like disconnected.
So they all take
like
place in the
3 and
same
4.
world, but then 3 and 4 of Trails of Cold Steel and the upcoming new one, which I forget what the name is going to be because it's Trails of something that
Arise?
continues that. No, you think that's Tales of Arise.
Oh my god, these games.
Tales of and Trails are 2 different game series, which is dumb.
So it's like this. It's a 15-year build-up, so you have to play every other game before this game.
Essentially, yeah. Cold Steel 3 and Cold Steel 4 wind up grabbing characters from the first 2 sets of games because all of these games take place like in 5 years in the same world, right?
So everyone's having their own separate adventures.
Exactly, in different countries.
Yeah, but then after 5 years, they all just like meet up. And
eventually, it turns out that all these stories are connected.
So it's like you were beating up a bunch of like the little guys. And then this next game is about the big boss.
Yeah, so like Trails of Cold Steel is about this like terrorist group within the Empire, right? But they might be connected to a Jaeger group that was in the Republic, or a criminal sect in Crossbelt, because at the end of like Cold Steel, shit happens because like these games care about the world that they're built in, because like it's a world with so much detail, right? Because all these games take place in the same one but in different countries, so you wind up getting into like the economics and the like politics of all these different countries and how they interact with each other, which is interesting. But then so like at the end of Cold Steel, like even though like what's interesting about the entire game is like until the end of that game, like until like 6-ish chapters in, the game makes it pretty clear that you're like not important.
Yeah,
like you're a bunch of high school kids who happen to be get involved in the plot of like a terrorist attack.
I just found some good local news.
Yeah.
Movie theaters will be opening next Friday.
Apparently, I learned some news that some theaters are going to be playing Inside in theaters, Bo Burnham's Inside.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, they kind of need it to like fill up the rest of the theater. Well, I'm sure it's just going to be like when it opens up on Friday.
Black Widow.
It's going to be Black Widow, F9, and Space Jam.
Yep.
Like just playing on every screen for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I already saw Black Widow.
Did you hear, Emma was telling us about, where the Marshalls is now at the town center?
No. There
was that, like, okay, where there was like, what was it, a Target there?
Oh, yeah?
In Air Mills Town Center?
It's a Marshalls now?
It's a Marshalls now, but Emma was telling me that it was supposed to be like an experimental Cineplex thing.
Oh.
Where it was supposed to be like, I think it was just going to be a bunch, like 3 VIP theaters there. So more focused on, like, it would be like a weird combination of like the Rec Room and Cineplex.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It would have been sick, but they just, I guess they
obviously
canceled on the idea.
Because theaters are not making money.
Or because COVID came about and they were like, well, this would be literally the worst time to put this plan into motion.
That's true. But so...
Or if they had like a bunch of like 10-person theaters.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be like a bunch of home theater setups. That would
be $100 a person.
Well, I think what they would just do is make like, be like, hey, it's $250 to rent the room, and you can watch like 1 or 2 movies or whatever. So like, one person covers the cost and just invites people. So, but none of us agree on movies.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of you guys do will be like, oh, we'll go see this like more indie picture,
movie.
And I'm like, I just want to watch blockbusters.
Yeah. And it's like Ian needs to learn culture.
I'm cultured enough. Just I don't like I don't like every movie.
That's fair. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I was just fucking with you.
Yeah. Sucks what happens to Rachel Weisz at the end of The Favorite, though. I'm sure she fucking gets guillotined or like executed.
Oh yeah, probably.
Did they lie to her and say she's like they think, or was her husband actually trying to betray the queen?
No.
It was just Emma Stone manipulating him? Okay.
I didn't know you saw that movie. That movie's great.
I think I saw it with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That movie's great.
It's alright. I just was kind of bored.
I mean,
I like the part where Nicholas Hoult just pushes her down a fucking hill.
That was funny.
I think it was a drama with like comedic moments just thrown in there.
It was like it was like kind of a unique historical drama. A little sexy.
Yeah, it's a little based in truth, but sexier. Like the relationship that Rachel Weisz characters had with the Queen was real, just not sexual.
Yeah.
But also,
we don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like she had her closest advisor who even would spend nights with her.
Yeah, it's like
as if they were children. It's like they were not children.
They fucked.
They were gal pals.
They probably almost certainly fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, or at least did like other romantic things and just like, cuddled a lot.
Yeah, so, okay, sorry. What I was going to say about Trails of Cold Steel, other than that I really liked it. If you want to get into the series, and I'm not necessarily talking to you, Ian, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. If you, the audience, but also you, I don't know, you don't, it depends. You're not,
busy with something else right now.
Your vibe with JRPGs is you like some, you don't like some,
Yeah.
and like it's kind of arbitrary which ones you do and don't like.
That's my opinions with like literally everything.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you like? It's like, hey man, I really like Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
Oh, you should try out any other game that's like in the Persona / Shin Megami Tensei verse. And I'm like, no. Except for SMT5. I'm gonna play that.
You should try the Rado Kuzunoha games for PS2. Those were action RPGs.
See, I don't know. I just don't like a lot of Japanese action RPGs. Just feel like Devil May Cry is so fucking good.
It's not okay. It's not an action game. It is an RPG where you hit things in real time.
Okay, I have no idea.
Yeah.
See, I just don't care.
Just
about
emulate it. Just
no, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
Like, how else? Would
It costs nothing to try it when you emulate it. But anyway,
Metroid, not Castlevania.
But anyway, the Trails of Cold Steel is really cool. I really liked it. If you like sort of Persona 4, you'll probably like this. It's like pretty cool. But what I would say is if you're trying to get into the series, because these games are all connected,
which is the best one?
I've only played Cold Steel and Trails in the Sky 1, and haven't beaten Trails in the Sky, so I don't know. But I would say Cold Steel is a better jumping on point because it's a PS3 game that's on PS4. Like there's a remaster of it, but it's not really called remastered. You can just buy it.
Also,
and it's on PC.
I believe all these games are on sale right now.
They're all on sale on PC, or they just came off sale because I think the summer sale just ended. But maybe. But they're all on PC and PS4. Sorry, the Cold Steel games are all on PS4, and all of the games are all on PC.
Oh yeah, no. By the time this episode, the Steam sale's over.
Okay, so yeah, but if you want to get in and you want something that's more accessible because it's more recent, you can't go wrong with Cold Steel. If you want to start at the beginning and make your way through and make everything make sense, then start with Trails in the Sky. But that game is a fucking PSP game that's on PC. Like it's a good game, but it's less flashy, it's less accessible. It depends on what your tolerance is for old style games. A lot of people are like, a lot of hardcore fans are like, start with fucking Trails in the Sky, and it's like, all right, guys, but you know that the person's already going to be fucked up because the cross-bell games, which are also important, have not been localized and aren't going to be localized till next year, even though they came out before the Cold Steel games.
Bummer.
Yeah, so they're going to be localized next year. So you're already going to be playing them in a fucked up order or trying to get like fan translations anyway. So fuck it. You can start with Cold Steel 1 and 2 and then come back to the earlier games. That's fine. Stop being gatekeepy, boys. Let people start where they want. Just let them know, hey, by the time you get to Cold Steel 3 / the end of 2, Then there's going to be crossover with In the Sky and the Crossbell games. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to put those off until you've played those. Played the earlier ones or whatever. But, yeah. Gold Steel's great. In the Sky's great. If you want to get into a new series that's really well done, you can't go wrong with them. Also, they're pretty cheap, mostly, except the new ones are regular price.
Mm. So, I said I wasn't going to talk about F9. There's just one thing I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
They do flashback shit
Yeah.
where you get to see young John Cena and young Dom.
Yeah. Did they de-age them, or did they get different
They
actors?
got different actors. The actor they got to play young Dom is actually phenomenal. He's very good. Young John Cena does not look the part, because the guy who they got to play Dom is like 6'2", which is taller than Vin Diesel actually is.
Yeah.
But the guy who they got to play John Cena, who John Cena in real life is actually like 6'2",
Yeah.
and they are adults at the end of the flashbacks and shit. He is noticeably shorter, but when they face off, they are the same height as adults. And I'm like, you don't grow that much like after the age
Are
of
they
20.
twins?
No.
So
Dom is
who's-
the older brother.
Dom's the older brother. That
Yeah.
makes sense because he looks older.
Yeah.
He looks old.
Yeah, he's. I think he's only like 2 years older.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's starting to age poorly.
He's definitely is.
Especially
Jason
compared
Statham
to
is still like
John
a king.
Cena.
What?
Yeah, especially compared to John Cena.
Yeah. Oh yeah, John Cena is.
Aged pretty well.
John Cena's like what, 48 now?
He's got to be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
so
excited
actually,
for the
what I-
Suicide Squad. He's going to be great in that.
Yeah, he is. He's already looks amazing
He looks
in
funny.
the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I've actually been playing is I started while I was just like sitting around.
Metroid Fusion.
No, I finished that game and I don't even know if I want to bring it up.
Okay.
It's all right. I think
it's quite good.
You know what? Fuck it, because it'll be quick. That game is great but annoying.
Because there's too much talking.
There's too much talking, but it's also like actually brings more into the lore, lets you know a bit more.
That's
'Cause,
one
like-
thing. That's one thing where I'm like, the criticism of the too much talking. I was like, oh come on, like it adds more.
But
like there's so
it's-
little talking in
There's
other ones.
parts where Samus is like going up an elevator
Yeah.
after you have like completed a section, and she'll talk about how her relationship with her like former commander Adam, or like the Galactic Federation, how they've like mistreated her, or like what the Chozo were to her and shit like that, or what
Yeah.
Metroids were to her. Like, you know, there's like these really good moments of her fleshing herself out as a character.
Yeah.
But the opening of the game is like 15 minutes of just pure dialogue of them just being like, Samus's body is a grotesque monstrosity now because she is merged fully with the suit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but we know that's not true anymore because the suit is like a weird thing that she can just take on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the Venom thing. It's just like a symbiote pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's like a biological horror in the next game.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I really like the power-ups. There's like a Mr. X thing in the game.
Yeah. The SAX.
With SAS, yeah.
She's super cool.
She's
Honestly,
cool. She's annoying. She's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but she's creepy.
Yeah.
Especially
But
when you see her face
yeah.
and it's blank.
The power-ups are like more... There's like newer power-ups. Like there's a thing where like instead of having your frozen beam, which you don't get till the end of the game now, you get like the rockets that freeze. Or if you hold down and you can charge up that like when the rockets explode, it'll be like a whirlwind. Like there's just a bunch of like really cool things like that. But
Yeah.
and also like I don't have to do the fucking bullshit of like mashing select to go through which one I want. There's no X-ray. There's no grappling hook. It's just better. You can still fucking triangle jump, but it's not needed. You can't sequence break the game though, like you do in Metroid and Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Where I watched a speed run of Super Metroid where this motherfucker went and got the gravity suit first and never fought Kraid, never fought Crocomire, and just got the Varia suit.
Yeah, that's why Super Metroid randomizers are so popular.
Yeah, because you can actually like it's very rare to get stun locked. You just know a bit of like speedrunning tech.
Yeah.
And one of the fucking boss fights the guy did, he just used the speed booster and did this like shoulder check, and he did it like 4 times, and that was the end of the boss fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's I think part of the not being able to sequence break as well, because it's like a less sprawling thing, has to do with it being a GBA game versus an NES a SNES game.
But the real problem is sometimes you'll like go to the navigation room and you'll talk to the system, and then the system will be like, hey, just walk across, like you're in zone 3, go over to zone 4, and then as soon as you get to zone, and it's a long dialogue telling you to go to zone 4, you get there, and then there's an even longer dialogue where it's like, hey, just kind of walk down the end of this hallway and then come back, and then you come back, and it's like, cool, you did that thing, now go back to zone 3. It's like, you're guiding me a bit too hard here, buddy.
Yeah.
And also, you have to talk to him. Like, the
so
doors
the
won't
thing,
open.
the thing in the reason why that is, which is interesting, is in Japan, Metroid Fusion was sold as a way to help kids learn how to read.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But by the end of the game, this is the most powerful Samus has ever felt to me.
Yeah.
Because like even more power, like I felt stronger than like at the end of Super Metroid when like you have the rainbow beams that like fuck up Mother Brain.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Ridley fight was pretty fun in this one. It was much easier, but like instead of having to like use missiles, it was actually better to use your charge beam because by the time you fought Ridley, you had like the plasma and wave beam.
Apparently, the big robot in Dread is going to operate like the SAX did in this because like they wanted to do like a Mr. X thing.
Yeah. Hopefully it's more like actually like Mr. X and not just like
scripted like the SAX.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that.
That's awesome.
I've also been playing God of War.
Oh, the 2018 one?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? Because I'm not into it.
I really like it.
Everybody likes it.
I was playing on one of the harder difficulties before.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. It's annoying. But now that I'm playing on the what is the normal difficulty, I am bored.
Yeah.
The combat is too easy and
See, I found it kind of hard, but not in a fun way. Because I didn't feel like it has very much combo depth. There's no air attacks. It's slow.
There's no air attacks and there's no jumping and anything.
Yeah, it's like, and it's kind of sluggish. Compared to other character
But as you go through and unlock more abilities in the game, it's one of those.
Yeah, I don't like, I don't like skill trees.
It's not,
it's a very skill tree centric
It's a skill tree, but like, it's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't need EXP in a fucking linear game.
It's not linear.
It is pretty linear.
But there's... Like,
there is exploration, but it's pretty linear. It's not an open world game.
Yes, it is.
Not really.
Yes, it is. Nathan, I'm literally... How far did you get?
I got pretty far.
Where? Did you make it up
I got to the top of the mountain.
And then did you keep playing after that?
I did for a bit, but I got bored.
Okay.
Because the game's not very fun.
It is.
I don't like it.
The game is fun. Kratos is a bad dad, though.
I don't like it. I think it sucks. I don't like the combat.
All right, then I just won't talk about it then.
Okay, sorry.
Fine. If you're just going to keep saying, like, I don't like it and I think it sucks.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what's the point?
No, please go ahead.
No, what's the point?
Say what you want to say, man.
Well, I think the combat's pretty fun.
Okay.
I think it's a good old time. I like how to throw axes at people.
That part's
It's
fun.
dumb Thor shit. The fight against Baldur at the beginning of the game is fun.
I like that fight. It's cool.
You get to like whip him around and shit.
Yeah.
There is one problem I have with the game.
But
And it has those like critical kills sort of things you can do, where if you build up the enemy's like stun bar, you can, like,
then you press a button.
You click R3 and you go through a cutscene. Where like the first one you do against like a Draugr, Kratos goes like okay and just like separates like his right shoulder from like his body.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, that's fine, that's quick. But then there's like the next one where you fight like, oh, this guy has a sword. Kratos like fucking body slams him, like stomps on his head, and like that's 15 seconds of my life that I'm losing. I would have been faster just to actually kill the guy. Yeah. And it's like, and then they're like very generic, like, wish they didn't have them or let them go quicker. Like just something simple where it's like, hey, you can break the guy's stun, and it's some dumbass shit where like Kratos like punches them with the shield and then just quickly swipes off their head or something. And then you get back into combat. But it does want to be like a Dark Souls-y type combat.
Yeah.
But you at least get to juggle enemies in the air, and like there's more you can do that's not just like, hey, hit them and hope they die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have your stupid son. You can shoot him with bows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get the lightning arrow?
I don't remember.
I think that's actually at the end of the mountain peak.
I don't remember. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I personally didn't care for the combat at all, especially compared to earlier God of Wars, which were kind of more my style.
They were like a completely different game.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. You know me. I don't like the fucking R1 to hit things. I think it's stupid.
Like, I literally think that complaint is so... I know it's your thing, but it's just a button, and you can change the controls in the menu.
Yeah, but it's... I don't know.
I complained about Nier Automata because I didn't want to press circle or whatever, because I was more into Dark Souls at the time, and you said just change it in the menu. And
what was the circle
option.
thing you didn't like? It was the interact button or whatever?
I liked hitting things better with R1 and R2.
Oh, you mean you didn't like that it was square triangle?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, well, no, that I told you need to get used to it because R1 shoot.
There's like reasons to not do it. But I just like,
that's fair. It's like, it's not just the R1 thing. It's like, I didn't like the combat, because you don't, like, there's not really like much combo depth. It's more that you have skills that you do on top of, because R1 just hits. Like, there's not really like a combo to it. You don't do the pause combo.
No,
you don't
there
do.
is.
Does it get there? Does it take some
tree.
time?
It's in the tree, just like how the like pressing triangle and then pausing for a second and then pressing it again is in the Devil May Cry skill tree. That just because it's a shop where you buy moves doesn't mean it's not a skill tree.
I mean, it's different because no moves are locked behind other moves except for
for ones that are just enhancements of the moves, like color up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the Kratos ones are locked behind things. Well, it's like, actually, they are. I'm fucking lying to you.
Okay.
But they're like, I mean, like, some of the skills you don't, if you want to get the one where it's like the pause moves and shit, you just have to get your axe to a certain level.
Oh.
So that's the part that locks behind it. So when your axe is like level 3 or 4, it opens it up. So like you press like R1 once and then you pause or whatever. You hit it at the next moment and you'll do like a bigger, like more crowd controlling move, but slower. And then you can also change it where your R2 is now your heavy attack is like that launcher.
I'm kind of surprised you like it.
Or slow methodical axe.
I'm kind of surprised you like it because it has that like weird over the shoulder thing.
Well, that's in Dark Souls as well.
But Dark Souls is a little more zoomed out from the camera, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's like but it's not like as close to the shoulder. Where like I can still see my environment. Yeah. There's a good like radius thing to tell me like around Kratos' waist. Yeah. It has those like indicators. Just to say, like, hey, someone could hit you in the ass, which is good. If you're not going to,
it's good if you're going to make the entire game that camera angle. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't.
I wish there was more than one weapon, though.
Yeah. Well, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
But like, I'm already like by at this point, I've played the game for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
I would be finished God of War originally if I was playing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd have like 3 weapons. But instead it's like I just have the axe.
You can get the Chains of Olympus.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But like my kid is the one getting all the fucking like actual changes. It's like I have the axe and my bare hands.
Yeah.
And fighting with bare hands is pretty funny, especially when it's like, hey, there's a bunch of enemies here. I don't want to deal with them. Just whip the axe at one guy and he like freezes for 15 seconds.
Yeah, like there's some cool stuff in that game. Like I'm not here to say it's terrible. It's just so not for me. Like it just doesn't do it at all.
Also, but it's one of those fucking games as well where like Kratos is just such a like if he just explained himself for 1 second.
Yeah. Like
do you know the part in Alfheim or wherever the fuck, like the Dark Elf area where you go inside the beam of light and you like hear your wife and you like start like trying to chase after the voice, but then you get like pulled out of it by your son. You're like yelling at him and he's like, you were gone for so long. He's like, I was gone for like less than a minute. And then you look around, it's like you were clearly gone for like a few hours because there's bodies everywhere. If he just was like, well, I guess time passes differently, they would not get an argument, wouldn't be all pissy at each other. But Kratos is a man of few words and will not tell the kid that he is like a half god.
That's one thing I didn't really like about the game as well, where I was like, there's so many like the harsh dad thing is something that I like hate in stuff a lot. Well, because I'm like, fuck off.
There's sometimes like,
who made you king, asshole? Like,
well, killing a bunch of Greek gods made
you king. But it's like what makes you think that you're allowed to tell me shit?
But he's also he does like shit in like at the beginning of the game when you're like hunting down the boar, you hunt down that boar.
Yeah.
And he like the way he reacts when like the kid misses or something, like he doesn't shoot very well, and he like grips the bow from him. He's like, "You don't get this anymore until we track it down." I'm like, bro, just fucking, you could say like, hey, don't waste your arrows. You don't have to fucking like rip it from his hand. Use your fucking words. And I was like, at that point, I'm like, fuck you, Kratos. I don't even, fuck you. You're a shitty dad. I know you're going to get better though, so I want to see how you get better. But then, like, it's just annoying. So long.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's starting to have a better relationship with his kid. He's like willing to talk more. Like they'll actually have conversations. The kid be like, "Hey, Dad, tell me a story while we're rowing the boat," which for some reason always happens when I'm almost at my destination. It's like I'm not just going in fucking circles. When I get in the boat, start the fucking story. Don't wait, because it's not like there's boat combat.
That center area with like all the where there's like 5 points of interest, and then there's the place in the center that you get to pretty early on in the game.
Yeah. But then the water shrinks down, and you get more points.
There's more stuff.
Yeah, like there's caves and stuff that was underwater.
I just didn't. Again, I don't care for that area.
Like I met Fafnir, who's like a giant. He was a dwarf.
Do you know what that area is to
dragon.
me?
What?
That's what the fucking driving section in Uncharted 4 is to you. Because it's bullshit.
Right.
It's a fucking waste of my time.
You're right.
It's like why even make me drive around? Like, why am I driving? Just put me in one of these fucking places. Just make them in a straight line.
Or just give me full access to teleportation.
Yeah.
Or when you're in that fucking temple, they could have you beeline straight to that temple, and then you're in the temple. And
why does it have to be open at all?
They could have made it where, they could have made it open where it's like you finish one area in like the portals and shit when you go through what's it called, the Bifrost.
Yeah.
And then you come out, it could be like, yo, you finished that one. Now you have 2 areas. Go to either one. Choose your...
Also, none of the fucking cool gods show up. You fight the same guy like 3 times.
Yeah, but I believe you fight Thor and Odin later on in the game.
I don't think Thor shows up at all.
Really? I know you fight the Valkyries.
Yeah.
Well, you murder them brutally. Which is unfortunate. They seem pretty cool. Well, God of War is also a franchise where it's like, no, all the gods are awful people.
Yeah.
But he just found out like the Witch of the Woods was Freya, and he immediately is like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And she's like, "Hypocrite! You are a fucking god as well. You can tell you, and you're not telling your kids shit." And it's just like, man, it just like is such a fucking emotional dude, but will not like. He's literally just like seething in anger the entire time.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, he's not great.
I don't like God of War in general. Like, it's still, to me, like a third-tier action game, the old ones even.
I would say second tier. Like, what's, okay, let's just do S tier and shit.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I think second tier is more accurate.
Yeah,
but
like Ryan, like God Hand.
Yeah.
I'm not including Bayonetta because that's more modern.
Well, yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
This is 2008.
But
like, they're God of War games. God of War 3 came out after Bayonetta 1.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I know. Sure? It doesn't look like it because that game looks way worse than Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 1 came out the year before or the year after Devil May Cry 4.
Huh. I thought God of War 3 came out in like 2006. I'm still Googling it. I haven't actually got there yet.
No, because 1 and 2 were on PS2.
Oh, shit, you're right.
3 was on...
2010.
Yeah, 3 was on PS3.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm liking God of War.
That's good.
Yeah. So what'd you fucking read?
Oh, I read the first 2 volumes of Black Hammer by Jeff Lemire. So...
Now, what is this?
So this comic's cool, and you might be into it, maybe.
You know me.
Yeah, I know. So Black Hammer...
I just read mangoes.
Black Hammer, much like a mango, is in its own universe. It's an independent comic. It's at Dark Horse.
Invincible.
Kind of like Invincible. Now, Black Hammer, it tells the story of... Okay, let me introduce it the way the comic does. So you see there's this farm, right, in a rural town, and on this farm there's an old man named Abe, and there's a little girl named Gail, and there's also an alien and a robot and a man in a spacesuit that's floating. These people at this farm are all former superheroes.
Yeah.
Abe was Abraham Slam, who was a two-fisted, like, Golden Age, like, non-powered superhero.
Yeah.
And Golden Gale, or Gale was Golden Gale, who is basically reverse Captain Marvel. She turns into a little girl with superpowers when she says Zafram. But the thing is, is like she's actually 50, and so when she says to Fram normally, she can turn back into an adult woman. But on the farm, in this place that they are, she's stuck as a little girl.
Oh.
And so they're trying to blend in with the town because after fighting anti-god, like stuff flashed to white and they were sent to this like other dimension or whatever, this farm, this town. And they can't leave because Black Hammer, who was a superhero along with them, who's kind of like a take on Thor as well as like the new gods, he tried to leave right away. He tried to fly away, and he just like fucking separated his skin from his flesh. He just fucking died the second he got out of a certain area. The people in the town, though, have never heard of these superheroes, even though in the real world or whatever they have. Right? And so they've been on this farm for 10 years, and they've kind of all given up. They're like doing whatever. And like, it's just interesting. Like, it's a cool, like, character story. You get a lot of flashbacks that are very old comic style.
Yeah.
And then you get this like down to earth drama about these people who are all like kind of living different lives in this place. And you know, like Barbalian is essentially Martian Manhunter, and he's a gay man. And so like he, you know, you get to see the story of him like having this crush on this priest in town. Right? You know, Abraham Slam is dating this woman who is like the sheriff's ex-wife, right? But he likes her, but like he kind of doesn't want her to get involved to know all the weird shit about his family, who's essentially his family, the people living in his house with him.
Yeah.
He claims to be like Gail's grandfather, and she's going to school, and so she's acting out because she's a fucking 50-year-old woman, right? And she's stuck in the body of like a 9-year-old. Yeah. And so she's like smoking cigarettes and shit. Right? Because she's like so super depressed. You know, because she's stuck as a little girl mid-trap for 10 years. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting book. It's cool. I'm 2 volumes in. I think it's like, it's not still ongoing. It ended and there was like a new one that's like the continuing thing, but it's not the same. And there's also like tie-in side stuff because like other writers wanted to write in the kind of pulpy universe that they made up, which is cool. But like the main story is really interesting. Like it's a good thing. There's a quote on the back that's like, this will be in the fucking Hall of Fame like Watchmen is. And I'm like, okay, stop. Okay, like you're cheapening Watchmen. Like as good as this book is, it's not Watchmen. It's a different book. It's an interesting sci-fi emotional character story. It's not Watchmen, the fucking political brilliant like diatribe.
Watchmen's like about the world.
Yeah.
The world in a place where superheroes are assholes.
No, it's not. So Watchmen's not about superheroes or assholes.
It's about politics.
It's about cops. Watchmen's about the police. Like, it's like, these are, because through superheroes. It's saying superheroes are human, right? And they can be flawed, right? There's this superhero or whatever who's like a right-wing fucking racist, sexist nut job, right? That's Rorschach. There's like this guy who thinks he's smarter than everybody else and thinks he can decide everything. There's this guy who wants to validate himself as this god, but meanwhile he did fucking hit on a teenager. He started fucking a fucking 16-year-old when he was an adult man, but he wants to like allow himself to be this better than everybody else think. There's this guy who only enjoys superheroism as like a sexual thing. It's the only thing that can get him hard anymore, right?
Yeah.
There's this history, like these people are stooges of the government, and like Dr. Manhattan wins the Vietnam War for America, which we know shouldn't happen because America was the bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this whole thing. Right, and Black Hammer, as good as it is a little character story about a bunch of people stuck on a farm in a town and dealing with it in different ways, right? You know, their lives have been changed inexorably, and they have to learn to deal with it on a daily basis. And it's a great story. It's just not fucking Watchmen, right? Like, reviewer, like it, and it doesn't need to be. It's not trying to be Watchmen. It's trying to be a character study, and it's a great character study. I think it's a really good book, but again, it's not fucking Watchmen. Like, people, you couldn't write superhero comics the same way after Watchmen, is how fucking Watchmen did it. Like, whatever. Not to harp on about it. There's a thing I can say. But I would highly suggest, if you're looking for a new comic that you don't need, like, to know a bunch of bullshit to get into, Black Hammer is great. It's really cool. I like Jeff Lemire. Oh, also, Anti-God, the villain that they fought, is just fucking Darkseid, but with Galactus's helmet.
So Darkseid with some horns.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's pretty... like I said, some characters are really clear who they're supposed to be. Like, again, Golden Gale is just fucking Captain Marvel, like Shazam, right? But,
yeah.
It's still a great book. It still does cool stuff and is interesting. It's funny, like... The tone of the flashbacks are all like kind of inspired by old timey like Golden and Silver Age comics, but then like the stuff that's happening in real time is like very down to earth and realistic style, which I think is really neat.
Good.
Do you want to get into Marvel?
Well, might as well.
Okay. Do you want to do Loki first?
Might as well.
Okay. So Loki episodes 4 and 5, because we missed last week because I was sick. Loki episode 4.
Oh man, what even happens in episode 4? Oh wait,
all of the important shit.
Yeah, such as the timekeepers.
Robot. Loki and Sylvie are falling in love. Timekeepers are robots. We got to see Lady Sif again, which is fun.
Yeah, she kicked him in the nuts a bunch.
That's funny.
It was funny, yeah. How he tried to like change the flow of time, and even then she still was just like, sorry.
Yeah.
Just kicked him in the dick.
He almost got her that one time.
Yeah, but then she still did it because it's like it's what is supposed to happen.
Yeah. So episode 4, the timekeepers are robots. Loki gets iced. Owen Wilson gets iced.
Oh yeah, that was the hardest part to watch.
Yep. We learned Sylvie's backstory, that she got taken away as a little girl, and that Renslayer was the one who took her in, but when she was a guard, not a fucking judge.
Yeah. I would say, I'm going to take a guess and say that Sylvie isn't actually... What if she's not actually a Loki? What if there was some weird timeline...
I mean, we saw her in Asgard.
No, I know, no. But Loki is specifically the prince of the... What are they? Frost Giants.
Oh, yeah.
What if she was just a random Frost Giant child that, like, up until that moment when they found her, nothing deviated from the path? So there was just this alternate reality version of her that the TVA just decided as, like, finally picked up on her as a child.
Well, we don't know what exactly the Nexus event that made them pick her up was.
Because she's clearly already been there.
Yeah, so it's not that she's necessarily a girl, but that something made the timeline diverge enough that they had to prune
I think it's probably going to be some bullshit where it's like Loki was meant to play a prank on Thor that day that resulted in a guard getting injured, and she just didn't do it.
Well, she was playing with like the Valkyrie toy, and so like some people are saying like, oh, she was going to be heroic because she was like more. And
maybe because she was playing by herself and she wasn't trying to prank Thor.
She wasn't fucking with Thor. She wasn't, she didn't turn into a snake. And then, like, when he picked up the snake, because he knows I love snakes. And then he came out and he stabbed me.
He's like, hey, it's me. And he stabbed me. God, that's the best scene in that fucking movie.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I do really hope that, well, obviously, he's going to return to the fucking normal timeline.
Yeah, well, there's going to be season 2 of this show.
Yeah, but I think he's going to...
Do you think he's going to show up in Love and Monsters? Or
Love and Thunder?
Love and Thunder.
I think it would be funny if... Or like a post-credit scene where Thor is like, maybe everything's working out for him. Yeah. Him and Jane Foster are back together. Jane Foster is now Lady Thor.
Yeah.
Or no, the Mighty Thor. That's what her actual name is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's being Odin's son or whatever.
No, well, he's... So... They're both just called Thor, and I bet there's going to be bits about that where it's like Thor, and they both say yes and shit.
Yeah,
because it's Taika Waititi.
And then he's going to like probably try and be like, maybe you could be Lady Thor.
You could be Miss Thor. You could, or you could just be Jane. You could be Jane.
Yeah, we all know it's you.
Yeah, it's Jane. It's Jane.
Yeah, no, but maybe they're like together. They're having a nice time, and maybe they're a fucking like person.
Yeah.
Maybe Loki shows up and plays a little like a fun-loving prank on them while they're on a date or something.
I wonder if they're going to keep her like the cancer aspect of her story?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't.
No, I think that's cause
That's like such an interesting part of it, though. Like, because when she turns into Thor, it like eliminates the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And then when she turns back to herself, she's like back with all the cancer still. Which is interesting.
I just think that they're like, I don't think they have anywhere to go with that.
Because it's too sad.
Yeah, and I think they just want to kind of like
blow
people up.
That's why
shit.
I think Gore, like as cool as like it is that Gore the God Butcher is the bad guy, I don't think they're gonna keep a lot of elements of his story because like it's very in Thor.
Oh, Thor 4.
Yeah, because because that story is also very like the whole thing with that is he's using some of the gods that he doesn't butcher as slaves to build a god bomb that's gonna fucking eliminate every god, and it's like through time, and he's just this like unstoppable force because his heart is so full of like hatred for the gods, because like when he was like alive he lived through so much suffering, and it's a really good story. It's relatively recent. It's from like 2013, 2014.
They'll do the fucking opposite, where instead of like Thanos is actually just a dickhead in the comics who just wanted to bone death.
Yeah, which is arguably a better story than the fucking weird eugenicsy one. Yeah, that he was.
But that's what I'm saying is that like they tried to give him like this deep backstory. It was like, I'm just trying to control the population to save the universe, and then also they'll completely butcher my character in the second movie. But then there'll be like Gore the God Butcher, who has like in a fucking like he already has a story like in his background and shit. He'll just be like, "Ha, I'm evil." That's all.
They got Christian Bale.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, one second. He butchers the gods because he distrusts them and they treat
so
them bad.
So what happened was his whole life or whatever, he's on this planet that like the planet is having a drought, like, and like the sun is fucked up.
It's like a god who caused it.
So he's like it's that everybody is pious. Everybody around him is very God-fearing. His mother is God-fearing. The gods are going to save you, don't worry. And the fucking an earthquake comes and kills his mom. Like, and then, as an adult, he has his wife, and his kids or whatever. And again, there's a drought. Like, there's no food. There's nothing. Everybody's starving. And like his wife dies, his mom died to a monster. His wife died to an earthquake. And then he's got his kids, and he's carrying his kids, and his kids die of starvation, of malnutrition. They're trying to scope across the land. And, his tribe or whatever is like, don't worry, the gods will help them. Like, and it's like, I'm going to bury my son. And it's like, you can't, the gods need to see him. You need to hoist him up, right? Do this whole like thing. And he's like, the gods aren't here. The gods don't fucking care. If they are real, which they're not, they don't give a shit about us. Like, we're all fucking suffering. Yeah. And so his entire tribe kicks him out for heresy. And so then he go and he sees, like, he's just like walking and he just wants to die, right? Because everyone he's ever loved is dead. And he's walking and he sees in a crater crashes is two gods who have gone to war with each other, and one of them is actually, it turns out, the god of the symbiotes, and he has this sword called All Black, and so Gore picks it up, and it's like a symbiote suit that's also a sword, and he like stabs them while they're down, and that's when those are the first two gods he butchers, and he sets out he's going to butcher every fucking god in the universe.
Okay.
And so like he kills like a bunch of gods. Like the whole thing is like a mystery, but also like it's really fucked up.
Okay. So yeah, they're just gonna change and be like, I found this sword and I want it to be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Loki, they discovered that the fucking dudes are there. Obviously, it was gonna happen.
Yeah, so the timekeepers
Did you
are
get a
actually
Muppet vibe
fake.
from them though?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but like even then it was like that. Like they showed one dude's face and he had like big jowls. I'm like, he looks like one of the fucking
Muppets.
He looked like the old man, like Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
But combined with the fucking eagle. I can't remember his name.
A Sam Eagle.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know why this is like they
Sam
fucking
Eagle's
did a fusion dance.
Sam Eagle is the Republican Muppet.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's like a Republican. How like Nick Offerman played like a libertarian on
Parks.
Well,
and
no,
Rec.
Sam Eagle's like an asshole, and everybody makes fun of him because he's a Republican.
Okay.
He's like, this is all too silly. We're blah, blah, blah. Right.
He's like the serious military man.
He's like a Republican the way that like Kelsey Grammer's like
not a rapist.
no, I mean like because like he's a Republican the way that like fucking Frazier's a Republican, right?
Okay.
Like the kind of I'm this fancy guy.
I just already have the money, so why would I want to give it away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all too silly for me.
Yeah, no, I really like their designs. I liked how when she kills them, just kind of like flop over and they just start laughing.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah. And then
So obviously in the comics, the Timekeepers are real. They are created and by someone else, but they're not. They have powers. They're real. Like they're their own things.
yeah, but this is like the TVA is more science fiction than like fantasy in this one.
Yeah. So in the comic, the TVA is created by He Who Remains, who is the last TVA agent who exists at the end of time, which is probably who's in that castle. But I bet it's going to be somebody else as well.
What
Like
if
I bet
it's Mobius?
Mobius and Mobius. Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's just
Like a different Mobius.
yeah. Oh, and then so then they end up in when people were getting fucking like zapped away.
Yeah, it turns out they've been going to the void.
Where you also just get murdered anyways. But it
Yeah.
is for real now. They are not just erasing timelines. They are murdering the people left inside of them.
Yeah, it's like that's why so in the void there's all this shit. There's so many great fucking Easter eggs as we're going on to episode 5. The Thanos copter. There was Throg.
Throg.
The frog Thor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the frog
Was
Thor
that
in the
one?
jar.
That was a frog. All right.
Yeah.
So I remember just seeing
It was like a Thor
hanging out.
There was a big Mjolnir, and then there was a little thing in a jar, and it's a frog Thor trying to get at Mjolnir, which is fucking hilarious. I'm so glad.
I feel very bad for that thing though.
That's hype
just
as hell.
stuck
Yeah.
there forever.
I mean,
Yeah, and then we meet the four unique Lokis.
Four unique
We got
Lokis.
Black Loki.
Yep.
Don't know why. Old Loki, Baby Loki, Alligator Loki.
So Kid Loki's Nexus event is that he successfully murdered Thor, probably
Yeah.
from the snake thing.
Probably also as a child, it was just a prank gone wrong.
Yeah.
Old Loki is that he survives.
He survived Infinity War by doing that thing that so many people were like fan theorying about.
Yeah, but then as soon as he was like decided he was like wanted to go, and he missed his brother. He wanted to go find him.
Yeah.
As soon as he left the planet, the TVA caught up to him. Black Loki, who kind of looked like had like a Thor vibe.
Yeah, he had a fake Mjolnir.
Yeah, it was like a piece of rebar.
Yeah.
I like.
I think his name is Boastful Loki in the credits because he
okay.
brags about killing all the Avengers and having all the Infinity Stones, and it's like, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, and then we got to meet
Alligator Loki.
Alligator
who's an alligator.
Loki, who's the best.
Yeah.
Eats President Loki's hand.
Yeah, President Loki is like, he has a gang of Lokis that are like kind of side.
Yeah,
people.
But then also they're not. They're all waiting to betray him.
Yeah, they turn on him, which is funny.
Yeah. Then there's a big Loki murder fest. They all start killing each other.
Yeah.
And then Loki, young Loki, and old Loki, and Alan Loki get away. And then they meet up with Sylvie and Mobius, who were also in the void, just driving around in like a pizza car.
Yeah. The episode 5 is great.
Episode 5 is really good. Richard E. Grant's like sacrifice is great.
Oh, the scene's great where he builds an entire Asgard from illusions.
And then like the void is like destroying it, and then
it's not the void. So the monster
they're
is
in
not
the void. The monster's called like Alathoth or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Who is like a kind of obscure, super obscure character from the comics? Who they did, Ian? They made that character look fucking identical. It's like the most accurate character to screen as possible. Yeah.
Nice.
He's literally a purple cloud that's a monster.
Yeah,
like,
and then Loki and Sylvie couldn't fucking do it fast enough, and he gets voided.
Yeah, but
His
then they
helmet stays for some
enchant
reason.
it.
They enchant it, they open up the gateway, and that's where the episode ends.
Yep.
I cannot wait. I literally am more excited for this than I was for any part of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I thought this show was going to be a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this show's great. Like, I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad this is the one that got a season 2.
Yeah. Well, because Falcon and Winter Soldier's getting a movie.
Getting a movie. Yeah.
And
WandaVision ties into...
Quantumania.
The other one. Multiverse of Madness.
Well, then we got Hawkeye coming up.
Hawkeye ties into Black Widow.
Yeah, which we will talk about in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I like.
Do you think it's gonna be Kang the Conqueror?
I
on the other
hope
end of
it's
that void?
Kang because it feels like they've been leading to Kang. That big monster, Alavoth or whatever it is involved with Kang in the comics. They like, Renslayer is Kang's girlfriend in the comics, and like
Slayer.
the judge lady.
The judge lady. Okay.
Yeah. She's Kang's girlfriend in the comics, and like why specifically choose Renslayer instead of other judges that are at the TVA, unless you're going to lead kind of to that. And it just makes sense because we know Kang's going to show up in fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and Kang's tied in with time travel, so it would make sense to see him. Could also be like a different Loki, like yet another Loki, but I feel like that would be a bit of a cop out.
What if it was like Freya? Some stupid shit.
That would be dumb.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, like...
I hope it's a new character. I don't want it to be anyone returning.
Yeah, it might just be He Who Remains, and it's just a guy. But it feels like it should be somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they're gonna have this whole have this like whole philosophical debate about like what they're doing is right or wrong. It's like, well, they don't exist, and I'm like, well, still inconveniencing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
like,
obviously,
like, we
after
exist right
this
here.
is like they're going to stop printing the timelines because we know Multiverse of Madness exists and there's a multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the end goal is a multiverse. So,
It just wouldn't... Actually, I guess since it's so outside of the time, like as soon as you stopped policing the proper timeline, they would just immediately split off into a million timelines.
A million, yeah. Because like it's like all of time's happening at once. So like a variant can happen.
Well, because I was
80
about to say
million
some
years ago.
dumb shit, but then I immediately figured it out in my head that would be wrong. Where I was going to be like, well, technically, wouldn't the timeline start in like 2014 onward? So like things would be the same, just different post that. I'm like, no, that's not how it fucking works.
Yeah. That's why time variants can happen in the background.
Yeah. Also, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still canon? Because
No.
when the TVA
I mean, the
step
first
in and like
few
reset,
seasons, few seasons would be canon.
just not when they go.
Well, because they do time travel like how the Avengers do time travel. And the TVA didn't get mad at the Avengers.
I guess so. I guess if whatever happens in that show involving time travel was just meant to happen,
Yeah.
which is stupid.
But
and
it is
weird.
a different universe because it's the ending of that show is not canon in the MCU. There's like a few seasons that are, and there's a few seasons that aren't.
It's like the TVA just makes up their own fucking rules.
Yeah. No, that's the entire point.
Yeah.
That's why they're evil. They're probably... Because they're targeting Lokis, I think. Like, seems like that's the thing. That's why they were talking about how many Lokis they had.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because Lokis are so mischievous that they'll always like change their mind.
Fuck shit up, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Black Widow.
Yeah, we watched Black Widow last night.
How do you feel about the film?
I
know you hate women.
Yeah, my favorite part of the movie was David Harbour, so
David Harbour is great.
he
in
was
that
really
film.
good in it. He was like the comedic voice of that movie.
Yeah, he's really funny in it. So like, let's spoilers. I know the movie just came out.
Yeah, so just stop
I
listening.
mean, we spoiled Loki too, but we didn't say spoilers. But you should know by now, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Not spoil the fucking film? Come on. Black Widow. I think is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. One thing I was saying while we were watching it is that for a Marvel movie, the action is quite good, like and intense, like you feel it.
Yeah.
You know,
And also all the fights, like, they were
pretty hand-to-hand fights. They didn't.
pretty hand-to-hand fights. They
Yeah.
were taking hits.
Yeah.
I was correct in saying why did they act like she's dead from a shot in the arm, and then everyone was like, yeah.
She's not dead.
Yeah. Well, no, I know, but
But
like,
no,
at the beginning of the movie when she gets shot,
everyone
in the arm,
thought she was-
and then
yeah.
she goes like, oh.
They're
like,
supposed to have thought she died. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a shot in the arm. At least it should have gone like the shoulder or something.
Yeah.
But like it's up here on the bicep, an area you can very easily do like a tourniquet for.
Yeah.
But like, and also, why wouldn't they? The entire plane ride, like, because David Harbour did get inside the plane.
Yeah.
And she also had Natasha flying the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plot of Black Widow. I'm gonna complain about this movie a lot, and I want you to know it is a Marvel movie. So that means they're all pretty good. Like they're all pretty good. None of them are terrible. None of them are great. They're all kind of pretty good, generically for
Yeah.
Marvel movies. I would say, like on average, none of them are brilliant. masterpieces, and none of them are absolute fucking trash fires. They're all kind of in the middle.
Thor 3.
Thor 3?
Yeah.
That movie, I wouldn't call a masterpiece. It's a great movie. It's the best Marvel movie, but it's not quite a masterpiece. Like, I would say, like, What We Do in the Shadows is a better movie by Taika, if we want to say, like, you know.
Yeah.
And Hunt for the Wilder People, of course, is like, that. I would say that one's the masterpiece.
I don't know.
Because it's got the emotional side.
Yeah.
And it's also funny.
It's not. It's a dramedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but as I was saying, Black Widow.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit's fine.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I don't love it. It's kind of callous. You know, whatever. It's the historical aspect. Like, as a movie, I think it's fine.
Well, that's his one that he won, like, the Oscar for, though.
Yeah, but I think it's not his best work, personally.
Okay.
But Black Widow... So, I'm going to talk about a bunch of gripes here. So, Taskmaster is fucking wasted on this movie.
Taskmaster is ruined, and I called it at the beginning of the movie.
Well, it's not ruined because it's a woman. I don't... That's not the problem with it.
I think just taking her as this, like, traumatized character, as, like, you know, she's just... She survived her...
Yeah.
Her young Black Widow tries to kill her, and then tries to kill Dreykov, the villain of this movie.
In an explosion, she survives. But she's a slave.
Survives, but her face is all fucked up. It looks like they, like, stitched it back on.
But she's a slave, and the explanation for the fucking Taskmaster thing is that, she's got a program in her fucking head.
Yeah, and not just, like... It's kind of like when they were like, Daredevil's senses are enhanced because of the chemicals. And it's like, I liked it better when he was just a deaf
Enhanced
guy.
because he's blind.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Deaf. Fucking stupid.
But
like, you know, it was just cool when it's like a guy with such a crazy good memory.
He's trained. Yeah. So, like, Taskmaster in the comics, they've done a lot of different takes on him. They've done more dramatic ones and more comedic ones. This movie decides not to go for either, and instead has Taskmaster never talk in the entire film.
The X-Men origin to her.
Yeah.
She very much became just like Deadpool.
Deadpool at the end of that movie. But at least Deadpool in the middle of that movie had jokes.
Yeah, no, he was actually like one of the best
the
parts
only
of
good
that
part
movie.
of that movie. Yeah, like I'm stuck in an elevator with 5 guys who are all on a high protein diet.
Yeah.
But like, so Taskmaster is wasted. The fucking the character's design is much boringer.
Yeah, it looks like someone being like...
It's a motorcycle helmet.
I was going to say like paintball.
Yeah, and like, obviously, like, you can't necessarily go
Or
for
airsoft.
the whole thing. Yeah. But like...
Or what's the fucking term?
He's not...
They look like cosplaying commandos. Like, you know, like the dudes who show up to like...
Weekend Warriors?
Yeah, Weekend Warriors. That shows up to... It kind of looks like someone who's just like really intense on that.
Yeah.
They like go hang outside of like Charlottesville's capital and then just like hold tiki torches and like have their AR-15s haphazardly strapped to their front. Be like, this is how the military straps. And it's like,
no, it's not.
Yeah, they don't have it strapped around their fucking gut, fatty.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Taskmaster, I wanted to go with more of a skull and like kind of play more of the
actual
silliness.
skull, because honestly, the skull kind of looks like... Fuck, I thought I had something in there. It looks like Jason and Jason X.
Yeah.
Or Casey Hudson. No, not Casey Hudson. That's the guy who made Mass Effect.
Casey Jones from TMNT.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like, even like going with like a more generic mask is fun.
Or if we want, or for video games like Reaper and Overwatch.
Right, like going with something that's like kind of not quite as far as the comics, where it's like a full like skull ass mask.
Instead of having it be like eyes, it was just a visor that was like actually scanning and stuff. And
it's more interesting when it's his ability, right? But I get why it's not because of the plot of this film. But you've made this villain less interesting to make the other guy more.
But they could have done something where
threatening.
instead of it being a program, it was just like, with like...
She's just a genius.
No, well, it's just like that. We are using like the mind control serum in like dangerous doses on her. That it is now like we're just like brainwashing her to be like, remember this, forget these things, like jam your brain full.
Yeah, you could even do the fucking. She's like, they've hacked her memory and she doesn't know anything other than to fight. Yeah. We've removed every memory other than
maybe
this.
Black Widow hits her with that thing at the end because there's all these. She finds out that since she has left the Widows, that they all have these like mind control things and like a tracking chip inside their leg, and so they could be like, oh, as soon as she like hit her with the thing, she just stopped knowing how to fight, or like
and then it's like the mind control's
like,
off
muddled.
and she's just empty. She's like an empty vessel.
Yeah, but then obviously she would come back at some point as like another.
Well, they didn't kill her. They just kind of
they just like kind of walked away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like dealing with that, I think would be fine. There's this like comic relief character in the movie, this guy that like procures stuff for her that is completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Just
like
this black British dude who just is like, here's
doesn't
things.
need to be in the movie.
Not at
he
all.
Shows up thrice.
Yeah.
But I will say the family dynamic, the chemistry between Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, Florence Pugh, and Scarlett Johansson are great. And when you got all four of them together, the movie's super fun.
Yeah, that scene from the trailer where
the dinner
like,
where they're
the
at dinner.
family's back together.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie.
Yeah,
but that is
it's
like
so
one of my
fun.
favorite
It's
scenes
it's like one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Their dynamic all together is great, especially Florence Pugh and Scarlett Johansson together. Like really work well together. You really buy that they know each other.
And but also like David Harbour just being
David Harbour's hilarious
for Rachel Weisz the whole time.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like,
so funny.
I just say
The fact that they're horny for each
because
other.
I've been in prison doesn't mean I don't have any energy.
Yeah,
I can go all night. And Rachel Weisz is like, maybe after dinner.
yeah. And,
It
then
was
the
very
two
good
kids are like, no, gross.
It was very good that it wasn't like that. They clearly, they either got romantic feelings while they were undercover, or they were already together, sort of thing. But they definitely fucked.
Yeah, they like each other.
They probably slept in the same bed.
Almost certainly
In Ohio.
Yeah, well, they had to do that, but they actually like enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Which is the fun part. I have a lot of energy to expel. Oh, you gotta expel it on them. Oh, okay. Like it is an entertaining film. There again, like and another complaint, because this Bad Bitch is a prequel. Nothing in the movie other than the post-credits sequence means anything.
Yeah. Well, David Harbour's out there doing something now.
Yeah, right.
Arguably, it's Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing feels like it's setting up for anything other than the fucking post-credits, which is setting up for the Hawkeye TV show.
We once again have seen Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Definitely making this, like, off-brand Avengers team.
She's making probably the Dark Avengers,
she's getting U.S. Agent to be their Cap.
Or the Thunderbolts.
Oh, and now she's picking up, what's-her-face? Yolana.
Yeah, Yelena.
Yelena. To be the new Black
That's
Widow.
my aunt's name.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Yelena is going to be the new Black Widow. She's going to show up in Hawkeye, the TV show, and probably the reason why we never saw a trailer is because she's a villain, not a friendly, probably, right? Because she's like, you're going to kill Hawkeye.
Oh, the man response. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be something where they just keep. I think what she's going to do is just take her like Dark Avengers, Thunderbolts, whatever team, and just keep pointing them at like
things,
superheroes who have gone rogue.
Yeah.
So like maybe at the end of the show,
maybe that's why Hawkeye is going to be living in an apartment instead of the farm.
Yeah, because those people are after him. He wants to keep his family safe. But like Kate Bishop's in Hawkeye show, right?
Yeah.
So maybe at the end of the show, Kate Bishop will go undercover into the Thunderbolts or something.
Oh, I bet she's going to be the new Hawkeye.
But I'm saying,
I hope they kill Jeremy Renner in the Hawkeye show.
Wouldn't hate it
because fucking Jeremy Renner is a terrible person.
Renner. He's a bad person.
Yeah, it sucks that I like have to deal with this version of Hawkeye getting anything close to the fucking Matt Fraction version, because the Matt Fraction comic is so good, and it's like this version of Hawkeye from the movies sucks dick.
It's just unfortunate that like they thought they were just casting this like unknown dude because they didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
And then
he wasn't unknown. He did really well in Hurt Locker.
Oh yeah, so it was like, but he was like an
up and coming big name actor.
Up and coming, but then it like it's you think he's just a fine guy,
and then he threatens his wife with a fucking gun.
Yeah, and then also he says like a lot of misogynistic shit,
and he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, but
it's really the thing that's really fucked up is like I saw sometimes on YouTube you'll just get recommended like funny bits of Avengers cast being interviewed, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll put shit on because I'm bored, right? And one of them was like, oh yeah, who's the big party guy, who's the drinker, and it's like Renner, and it's like, Oh, that's upsetting. It's like Scarlett and Chris Evans start the party all the time, and it's like, yeah, of course, because they're friends and they're cool.
Yeah.
They're both cool.
And also, have you seen Chris Evans fucking drunk on that?
Yeah, he's great.
Where they were like,
hey, Marvel fans!
Or where he was found out that he someone told him that he tap danced. He's like, why they gotta go saying that shit? Or there's this really old episode of this podcast called Doug Loves Movies.
Yeah.
Where they have a game on there called the Leonard Maltin game. It's a really fun game, actually. I wish they made like a board game or like a card game sort of thing, because it's about trying to figure out a movie, but you bet how many actors you can guess the movie in.
Yeah.
But it goes from the bottom of the cast.
Oh.
So like I would say Titanic, and you would be like, oh, then let's say it's 10 names.
Yeah.
And if you said 10, that means you're getting Leonardo DiCaprio and the woman who's not in a lot of things anymore.
Fuck, why do I... Whatever.
But then, like, if you said you could do it in one name, I would be like, the fucking guy, one of the dudes who plays the violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you don't get to know that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chris Evans was on it with Leonard Maltin on the show. And Chris Evans just got so fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And he was just like, Leonard Maltin's this like 60-year-old man.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Evans was like probably like 32 at the time. And he goes, when you can't guess it, the person who said how many names they could do it before, you just say name it.
Yeah.
But every single time Chris Evans, so like Leonard Maltin was like, name it, bitch.
That's funny.
Yeah, I played the game a couple times with Blake and Megan. They enjoyed it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
So I thought this movie was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
One thing I did hate though.
What?
Is when she when like they do when they like pull the mask off.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they've switched places, but then it's like, it's just that
the flashback.
They like ran through the entire thing that would happen.
But but it makes honestly, like, it's not that. I know everybody in the room kind of groaned at it, but I was like, it's not even that offensive for that one. There was time to do it, for them to have that conversation earlier.
Yeah.
And like, it all makes sense. It's all, they use information that she would have, like, as the fucking founder. It's not like magical thinking. It's literally like, it makes sense. The movie just hides it from you to have like
also,
a reveal.
Everett Ross just kind of shows up late.
No, you mean Thunderbolt Ross?
Thunderbolt Ross. Who's Everett Ross?
Everett. I don't think it's Everett Ross, but Everett is the guy that Martin Freeman plays.
There you go. I'm just combining those names.
Yep.
Thunderbolt Ross just kind of shows up at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe
well, he shows up at the beginning and the end.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying he's not there. I mean, like,
I bet you if they do the Thunderbolts, which they probably will, it's named after him. So maybe he'll finally become Red Hulk.
Maybe. Maybe he already is.
Maybe he already is, and that's why he's skinnier in this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be cool where he's like, he gathers the Thunderbolts and he's like, "Oh, you're the USA's Avengers."
Yeah, he's like, "You're the Thunderbolts.
I'm gonna direct you where to go," and then they're like, "Well, you're making us do bad things." He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad, but for
maybe he's
Marvel.
gonna pick up the Taskmaster and she's gonna join or something, or she'll be like his secret operative that he sends around to like do bad things so that he can justify sending the Avengers in.
Yeah.
Because like they left Taskmaster, she left Taskmaster there like on the ground, and then Ross shows up. So he's gonna arrest somebody. It's probably gonna be her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing
was the Red Room in Russia.
Yeah, it was in the sky.
How did Ross get in?
To Russia?
Yeah. Like, just showed up like that.
He was already in a different country at the start.
But, I mean, wouldn't that be a violation of borders just to immediately show up to arrest one person? I don't know. Maybe after
no,
5 years...
because she used her tracker. And Ross is acting as part of the UN, in affiliation with the UN as part of the Sokovia Accords to arrest Black Widow.
All right, that makes sense since he's working for the UN.
Yeah.
That he could.
Well, I mean, he is working for the U.S.
Well, he's a general from the USA, but he's probably the Sokovia Accords was like his thing.
Yeah,
that he's assigned to put into place.
You know.
Yeah.
They did the similar thing with the World Repatriation Council in Captain America and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but that was a post series thing, so maybe that's just what it becomes.
But yeah, It's a good movie. It's just not the best Marvel movie because it's a
Yeah.
prequel and it sucks and it shouldn't have taken this long and this movie should have actually came out in between fucking Civil War and Infinity War.
It was just that fucking
Yeah.
they couldn't do that post-credit scene.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So like the only thing that this thing means towards Infinity War, like other movies other than the post-credit scene, is like a vest.
Yeah.
A vest. That is the connective tissue. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that sucks. And that's shitty. But also, what can they do? It's just lame that the only time you could have given Black Widow a movie
Did this
is
one
after
happen
she's dead.
before Infinity War?
Yeah.
Okay, so
because she's
before the
blonde in
snap.
Infinity War.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because she's not blonde in
She dyes her hair blonde near the end of this film.
No, but I know because I remember seeing
Yeah.
that. But I'm saying in Endgame, her hair was back to being red.
Yeah, to show it's red and there's blonde at the bottom.
Because she just let it grow out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if Yelena got snapped. Or blipped, whatever they use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that because Black Widow's so sad in Endgame that she did get snapped. Maybe all of them got snapped.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you think she would be like, hey, all my fucking friends are dead.
And my family's gone.
Yeah, like, you think she'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
Because, like, or that Yelena would fucking show up.
Remember the fucking scene with the pig?
Oh, yeah, that was fucking mean.
Where we were all just sitting there like,
That's too long.
say breathe!
Let him breathe, you bitch.
Oh, and then I like when she fucking lets it breathe again, but she's like, oh, he had 11
He had
more
11
seconds.
more seconds
It's like,
to
no,
live.
bro, that's not enough.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah. People are saying, I don't know. I saw a YouTube video that implied, hey, like, this is maybe too clean because she's so on the side of the bad guys and then she changes, like, on the flip. Like, and then she destroys the play. She changes the plan to destroy the fucking Red Room instead of let it, like, get found.
Yeah.
So, like, somebody was like, maybe she's fucking more of a mastermind than she seems.
Maybe.
Because, she potentially did that and that destroyed any fucking evidence of her being involved. But I don't know. That might be a better writing, but it also could be that the movie's just not that well written.
Yeah.
But yeah, the character dynamics are good. I just don't think the plot is necessarily that great. And, yeah. I didn't realize how much of it was foreshadowed, though, by Avengers. Somebody went back and said, like, here's the lines Loki says. And it's like, that guy and his daughter is the thing that he references. So,
Yeah. Just really enjoyed. I don't know. I very much enjoyed David Harbour in the film.
David Harbour's great.
Like the part where he's like blatantly lying about fighting Captain America,
Yeah.
and then that big Jack dude, he's like, "You're lying. He was on ice," and he's like, "Oh yeah," and breaks his wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, do you think he believes that he did fight Captain America?
I think that he's a little bit delusional. Like
Yeah.
he's probably been lying. Well, because he was definitely a Russian propaganda machine.
Yeah.
Prior, because he had super strength while he was in the States.
Did you see what his fucking knuckle tattoo said? We didn't talk about it.
No, what's it say?
Karl Marx.
Yeah, he always brings up like politics and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, oh, these fucking, they just wanted to control the power, nothing to the people. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. That's fun.
I hope he has like his own side story. Like if we ever see him again,
Yeah.
like with some shit. With,
I
like,
would enjoy
Elena.
seeing him again. Yeah.
But like you just see him and he's just like, I've been dismantling the powers of Russia.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
But then something, that they just cut out.
I wish to create global communism.
Yeah, some shit like that. And then Yelena's just like, just stick to Russia or else everyone's going to come and try and kill you.
I think that we should kill U.S. President Donald Trump.
Oh,
It is 2016 in this film.
yeah, but fuck that guy.
Yeah, we should, yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying they think Ross is going to become president in MCU because they said he was Secretary of State in the last one. And that's Secretary of State is like a common
Maybe
stepping stone
And
to
he's
become
been
president.
doing a lot of like political power moves.
Yep.
Like working with other countries. He's clearly well liked. Yeah, maybe he will.
And then he'll become the Red Hulk.
Red Hulk president.
Red Hulk president.
We gotta have a fucking new Hulk movie where he fights Red Hulk inside the White House.
That'd be sick. That'd be fucking cool.
Just imagine them like a whole fight of just destroying the Oval Office.
That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
Do you think they're gonna fix Hulk's arm?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We'll know when She-Hulk comes out because he's supposed to show up.
I imagine they're just gonna be like, he's just gonna have it in like a special like weird metal cast, and it's like, what's that doing? It's like, oh, it's reinfusing my arm with gamma radiation or something. Or maybe it just slowly heals itself over time.
I mean, in the comics he heals, but
Yeah.
who knows? I'd love to see them try to attempt anything that's in Immortal Hulk in a movie, but they never will. Immortal Hulk's fucking great.
Yeah.
Hulk literally is trying to overthrow capitalism in that. He does.
Well, does he become like a king or something?
No, I don't know. He's like, it's more about like, he's Immortal Hulk personality is like a Devil Hulk type deal, and he's like not evil, but he's like very fucking ruthless, and so but smart, and so he's like, but it also dives into like why Banner is not necessarily a good dude.
I never really.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's neat because it treats the personalities of the Hulks as like a multiple personality thing, which I know the comics have been doing for a while, but it really like kind of dives into it.
Yeah. Well, if they were like a multiple personality thing, then that personality is dead and gone in the movie.
Yeah, like the Child Hulk one is. Yeah.
Yeah. What a bummer.
Yep.
Or maybe we won't get a Bruce Banner Hulk movie because he's already like big green and is like under control. What about that one Asian kid?
Oh, Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a movie where he's the Hulk.
Well, they're doing the She-Hulk show, so that maybe that's what we're going to get more of.
Then maybe She-Hulk show
and
will
it's
end with like
Tatiana Maslany, and she's going to be a lawyer, and it's going to be funny because that's what She-Hulk do.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope fucking Charlie Cox shows up as Matt Murdock.
I just hope
that'd be so good.
I think
that would make me go. That would make me go like, yo, fuck it.
They should definitely just bring back the Netflix
stuff.
Like, cast. Maybe if you don't want to bring back like the whole series, but at least like the casting was very good for all those.
Like nothing in those shows happened that like make the world fucking not work.
Oh, it doesn't? Because I didn't watch all the shows.
They're all pretty street.
The only one you got to change is the Defender. Is that one fucking guy? I can't remember his name.
Which guy?
The dude
Iron
in the
Fist?
Defenders, Iron Fist. Yeah.
You can apparently season 2 of Iron Fist is actually good.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was the showrunner, not really the actor.
Oh, the one who was fucking it up.
Yeah.
Well, but there's the whole race thing about it.
Yeah, but like he's white in the comics.
I know. We got over this. People don't really care about comics accurate. They more want on like
right. I don't know. My vibe is like they. Yes, it is kind of inherently colonialist to be like he comes to fucking Kung Fu City and becomes the best Kung Fu man.
Yeah.
Even though he's white. But on the other hand, I don't think you can necessarily say it's like the fucking show's fault because they didn't make him Asian.
It's not the guy who played Danny Rand either.
Yeah.
It's like not his. Like it's not him.
Like in the comics, he's white. That's a point of the character.
Yeah.
Like it's part of who he is.
Doesn't he do like a fucking like accent in like that one Spider-Man show where they're like friends?
No, it's just the guy who voices Beast Boy, and he has like a surfer dude
voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like Confucius Say, but also like very much like a fucking surfer boy vibe. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could have Danny Rand be Asian American and then have him go, but like it's not terrible that he's not because he was originally white. Like, I get changing the Mandarin in story to be less Fu Manchu because that's a stereotype.
Yeah.
But like, again, changing somebody's race to be more diverse is good, but it shouldn't be the assumption, right? It's not the rule. It's a deviation from the rule, right? And that's interesting about it.
Yeah.
And if they have red hair in the comics, they're always going to be black.
Yeah, they just become black. And then eventually they will lose to the other red-haired person.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's about it.
All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. This is a good app. If you like this show, please like and comment and subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to it. And, of course, if you can leave a review, we would love you to leave a review if you're using Apple Music or whatever. I don't fucking know how things work.
Yeah, me neither.
But if you want to see us visually for these episodes, you got to go to youtube.com/N8SComedy, where you get to see both of us. There's so much bare naked feet in this video. And if that's something that you're interested in.
I'm wearing socks is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm wearing no socks. And I'm sexy. So, like, if you want to see that, go to the youtube.com/NAScomedy. You got multiple episodes that are in video format, which is fucking cool, dude. It's great. And, of course, if you want to follow myself on social medias, go to Twitter. You can go to Twitter at The Media Hole. You can go to TikTok, also at The Media Hole. You can go to twitch.tv/The Media Hole. And finally, www.whenyourballs.get-stuck-to-your-leg.tumblr.com. And if you want to follow Ian, he is at StrugglesV on everything. He recently came under fire on social media for saying that Adam that nobody should eat pussy. And
yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, he says that men can get head, but women can't.
We get it, and that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching/listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.